Chapter 2002. Hey, big bad guy, stop flirting with my mommy. You're about to die. How can you flirt with girls? Little Bean couldn't help but explode upon hearing such a mushy confession. Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry at Little Bean's words. Huasiqian looked up at Little Bean with interest. Are you Pudding or Little Bean? Guess. Do I get a reward if I guess right? Huasiqian asked deliberately with a smile. Does a slap count? Little Bean was rarely arrogant. No. If I guess right, you'll make your mommy like me, okay? Huasiqian continued to tease her. In your dreams, why don't you fly into the sky and stand shoulder to shoulder with the sun? Little Bean rolled her eyes at Huasiqian. Little Bean, don't talk nonsense, Huamin scolded. Oh, so you're Little Bean. Huasiqian smiled proudly. Little Bean covered her face. Mommy, is this how you betray your daughter? Huamin, hey, you big bad guy. This time doesn't count. My mommy spilled the beans. Oh, and don't even dream about an island or a manor. Handsome Sue is so outstanding, but my mommy isn't with him. Who do you think you are? My mommy can only be with my daddy for the rest of her life. They'll have a little brother in the future. Ahem. Huamin was so embarrassed that he wanted to find a hole to hide in. Huasiqian was having a good time with Little Bean. He continued to tease her. I can have a little brother with your mommy. It doesn't have to be your daddy. Bullshit. How can your child be called a little brother? Only someone with the same parents is a little brother, okay? Plus, you're so ugly. How can your little brother be good-looking? Only the Qin family has the best looks and genes. Little Bean said with a sense of superiority. Little Bean and Huamian talked to Huasiqian from time to time, trying to stall for time so that he wouldn't fall asleep. On the other side, Huasi and Ruan Qingqing led their subordinates to the harbor. Unfortunately, she bumped into Qin Chu not long after she got into the car. Then, the two sides engaged in battle. Gao Ran and a few of his men arrived in time to support Qin Chu. In a moment of desperation, Huasi abandoned Huayin and the others and drove away with Ruan Qingqing and Xianxian. Qin Chu was more familiar with the terrain here than he was, so he drove his sports car straight into it. Huasi's black SUV was knocked over the guardrail and almost fell off the road. Huasi opened the car door and crawled out with difficulty. Then, he aimed at Qin Chu's car and started shooting. Qingqing, are you okay? Huasi asked as he fired. I'm fine. My leg is just a little injured. Ruan Qingqing hugged her suitcase tightly. Get out of the car and run straight. You'll reach the harbor soon. The boat is already there. Get on the boat and leave first, Huasi said. What about you? Don't worry about me. Qin Chu won't dare to do anything to me. Otherwise, his wife and children will be blown to pieces. Then, Huasi rushed out with his gun. Ruan Qingqing gritted her teeth and got out of the car from the other door. She ran towards the harbor. Qin Chu and Huasi shot at each other for a while. In the end, they still couldn't decide the winner. When they ran out of bullets, Qin Chu suddenly threw down his gun and slowly walked out from the back of the car. Huasi, come out. I know you don't have any more bullets. Qin Chu yelled at Huasi. Chapter 2003. Aren't you the same? Huasi viciously walked out from behind the car. He was also in a sorry state. Let's have a battle between men if you have the guts. Qin Chu coldly glanced at his face. Sure. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see how I'm going to beat the crap out of you. Huasi clenched his fists, his knuckles cracking. In Vietnam, he trained hard every day in order to make a name for himself. Then, he would go to the black market to fight. At first, he was beaten black and blue, but gradually his skills improved by leaps and bounds. Eventually, he became an elite fighter. Not only was he ruthless when he beat people up, but he also became a human punching bag. He was very resistant. Therefore, when Qin Chu suggested a hand-to-hand fight, Huasi was full of confidence. He always thought that Qin Chu, who looked cold and arrogant, wouldn't have any real skills. At most, he would only learn a few tricks. However, when they exchanged blows, he realized that he underestimated Qin Chu. This was because Qin Chu's punches were extremely fast, steady, and accurate. They were very difficult to defend against, making it very difficult for him to defend. Qin Chu didn't have much patience. He was in a hurry to save Huamin and the kids, so he wanted to end this quickly. In a few moves, he hit Huasi's vital point. He kicked Huasi's stomach, sending him flying a few meters away. He then fell heavily on the ground. When he got up again, Huasiqian pulled out a dagger from his sleeve and stabbed it towards Qin Shu. Luckily, Qin Shu dodged in time and only got a small scratch. You used a dagger? Ha! Coward! After discovering that Huasi cheated, Qin Shu looked at him with disdain. Perhaps it was this look that provoked Huasi. He held the dagger and charged toward Huasi. He stabbed Qin Shu fiercely, but Qin Shu used one hand to subdue his other. With one hand, Huasi dislocated Huasi's right wrist. Crack! Huasi was in so much pain that he cried out like a ghost. Huasi, where are my wife and daughter? They're already dead. Huasi smiled viciously. Impossible, I don't believe it. Tell me, where is it? Qin Shu pressed harder. Huasi's face turned pale from the pain, but he was still stubborn. They're dead. They're already corpses. Ha ha ha. Qin Shu was furious. He raised his fist and aimed it at Huasi's face, punching him like crazy. He beat him up until his face was unrecognizable, like a pig's head. Then, Qin Shu grabbed his hair and dragged him into his sports car. Immediately, he drove toward the abandoned factory that Pudding had described. The sound of the sports car's engine was especially loud and could be heard from afar. Little Bean was very sensitive to this sound. Mommy, listen, it sounds like Daddy's car. Oh my God, Daddy is here to save us. Yeah, we're saved this time. Huamin instantly felt relieved. She knew that it wouldn't be long before Qin Shu came to save her. She trusted him. When Qin Shu dragged Huamin into the factory, he saw Huamin and his daughter sitting in the empty factory. He threw Huasi onto the ground and immediately ran over. Ignoring Huasiqian, who was about to die, Qin Shu carried his daughter, Little Bean. Baby, don't be scared. Daddy's here. Daddy, you're finally here. You scared me to death. Little Bean began to cry again as she lay in Qin Shu's arms. Suddenly, the little black box in front of Little Bean's chest beeped twice. Chapter 2004. Qin Shu looked down and saw that the timer had already started counting down. 18 minutes, time bomb? Qin Shu felt like his head was going to explode. He immediately turned around and saw that the one on Huamin's body had also been activated 2 identical black boxes with an 18-minute countdown timer. Qin Shu didn't have time to think about it. He immediately took out his phone and called Gao Ran. Shu, what's going on? Find me a top-notch bomb disposal expert as soon as possible. Quick! Bomb disposal expert? Gao Ran was completely dumbfounded. Mian and the baby have identical time bombs, and they only last 18 minutes. Hurry fuck. This time, even Gao Ran couldn't help but curse. He originally thought that this was just a bad kidnapping, but he didn't expect something as high-tech as a time bomb to appear. Hurry! Get the best bomb disposal expert here. Hurry! Gao Ran roared, scaring his subordinates so much that they didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Qin Shu carefully put Little Bean down, held her face, and comforted her. Little Bean, it's okay. Daddy already got the experts. We'll go home as soon as we take them down, okay? Your sister is still waiting for you. Okay, I believe you, Daddy. Little Bean was still too young, only 3 years old, so she didn't know what a time bomb and an 18-minute countdown timer meant. Therefore, when she saw her daddy, she calmed down a lot. Qin Shu turned around and walked over to Huamin. He hugged Huamin, honey. Huamin didn't know what to say, so she just kept crying. Don't cry. I'm here. Qin Shu patted her back and comforted her. Honey, I'm sorry. I caused trouble again. I shouldn't have left without telling you. But I'm scared. I'm scared that bastard Huasi will hurt our baby. Huamin blamed herself and regretted it, but there was nothing she could do. You don't have to explain, I understand. You didn't do anything wrong. I don't blame you. Don't worry, I've already called Gao Ran. They'll arrange for a bomb disposal expert to come soon. Okay. Huamin nodded and released Qin Shu's neck. Qin Shu stood up and walked over to Huasi. She grabbed his hair and violently pulled him up. How do we defuse the bomb? Ha ha ha, do you think I'll tell you? Huasi laughed maniacally. Qin Shu was so angry that he kicked Huasi's pig head again, beating him to the brink of death. It was only then that Qin Chu noticed Huasi Qian lying on the ground behind him. He no longer had the strength to speak, and only a sliver of consciousness remained. Huasi Qian, very good. Today, let's settle the old and new grudges together. After speaking, Qin Chu picked up a knife on the ground. Just as he was about to stab Huasi Qian, Hunyeo, Huamin stopped him in time. Mian, are you pitying him? Qin Chu turned around and looked at Huamin with a complicated expression. No, I'm not pitying him. I just don't want you to become a murderer. If you do, what's the difference between us and him? If it weren't for Huasi Qian repeatedly angering Huasi, I'm afraid I wouldn't be alive right now. Although he's despicable, he really did protect me this time. He deserves what he did to us, but I believe that he will be judged. All we have to do is expose his crimes to the public. Why should we stain our hands with blood for someone like him? Huamin didn't want to see Qin Chu act like a murderer and kill someone with his own hands, especially in front of Little Bean. Only then did Qin Chu realize what Huamin meant. He realized that he was too impulsive just now. He turned around and looked at Pudding. The child was looking at him with innocent eyes. He really couldn't do that. At this thought, he slowly put down the knife in his hand. He picked Little Bean up and sat down with Huamin and his family, waiting for the rescue team to arrive. Time passed by slowly. When there were only 8 minutes left on the timer, Gao Ran arrived. He brought along the bomb disposal experts. Chu, we're here. Gao Ran rushed in with a large group of police officers. Behind him were 3 bomb disposal experts. Hurry up and defuse the bombs. Qin Chu was frantic. Chapter 2005. Hurry up and figure out how to defuse it. Gao Ran asked his men to grab Huasi Qian and bring him to the car. Then, he took the dying Huasi Qian away as well. Only Huamin and Little Bean were left in the factory. The 3 bomb disposal experts studied it for a long time. Finally, the leading expert walked over. His face was serious. Chief Gao, President Qin, how is it? Is it difficult? Gao Ran asked. It's not a problem of difficulty, it's... The old expert stuttered. Qin Chu and Gao Ran looked at each other. They both knew that something was wrong. What do you think? Just tell us. Gao Ran gestured for the old expert to continue. This mini-bomb is a mother-son bomb. What do you mean? Gao Ran frowned slightly. Qin Chu listened calmly. It means that if we remove the wire on this side, it will detonate immediately. If we remove the wire on the other side, it will detonate immediately. The expert explained. What the fuck? That's weird. What if we remove both wires? Gao Ran didn't believe it. They will detonate at the same time. Qin Chu and Gao Ran fell silent. How much time do we have? Qin Chu asked. A little over 7 minutes. So, we suggest that Mr. Qin choose one. The design of this bomb is too difficult, and we can't decode the complicated code in a short time. So, we can only choose one of the 2. I'm going to ask that bastard Huasi. Fuck. Gao Ran was so angry that he turned around and was about to get into the car. Don't go. It's useless. He won't tell us. Qin Chu had interacted with Huasi before. He knew that Huasi had bad intentions and wouldn't give in easily. Plus, it was too late. They didn't have enough time. They couldn't waste any more time. Qin Chu turned around and looked at Huamin and Little Bean anxiously. Little Bean was nestled in her mother's arms. Mommy, I'm so hungry. I want to eat fried chicken, Little Bean whispered. Be good, it'll be done soon. When we're done, we'll go home. Then, whatever you want to eat, Mommy will make it for you, okay? Sure, I also want a toy plane, the kind that can be controlled remotely, the big kind. All right, I also want Haagen-Dazs and tiramisu. By the way, my sister likes blueberry, and I like strawberry. Mommy, don't mix them up. Yes, I know. Huamin gently stroked Little Bean's head, comforting her. Chu, what should we do now? Gao Ran looked at Qin Chu sympathetically. Help me carry Little Bean to the other side. Qin Chu said in a low voice. Because according to the experts, if they could only save one of them, they could only temporarily separate them. Okay, should I carry her further away? Gao Ran asked. Qin Chu didn't answer, and Gao Ran didn't dare to ask again. Gao Ran walked over and picked Little Bean up. Let's go out and play with Uncle Gao. Wow, Uncle Gao. Is Annie Lingling here? No, she's sleeping at home. Gao Ran strode out with Little Bean in his arms. Is your Gao Bu in here? I haven't seen him in a few days. I even bought him a toy car when I was in the States. Haha, really? Thank you, Little Bean. The child's words almost made Gao Ran cry. Uncle Gao, when can I go home? I'm starving. I'm cramping. Do you understand? Little Bean's childish words carried no harm. She kept complaining to Gao Ran. Every word she said made Gao Ran feel as if his heart was being cut into pieces. Chapter 2006. Little Bean didn't know that she and her mother were about to face a difficult choice. Between the two of them, only one of them could survive. The other one might really be blown to pieces. After Little Bean left, Chin Chu walked over and squatted down beside Huamin. Honey, the bombs haven't been defused yet. Where did Gao Ran take Little Bean? Huamin looked confused. Chin Chu didn't say anything. He just held Huamin's face and kissed her on the lips. Honey, what are you doing? There's so many people here. Huamin was stunned. She didn't expect her husband to kiss her at a time like this, especially in front of the experts. It was so awkward. Honey, don't be scared. You'll be fine. Chin Chu wanted to comfort Huamin, but as soon as he said this, tears started to flow out of his eyes. Huamin immediately understood what he meant. The bombs can't be defused, right? She asked calmly. Chin Chu didn't say anything. He just cried. She held Chin Chu's face and asked seriously, Don't cry, honey. Look at me. Tell me, can't the bombs be defused? No. Then what's going on? Tell me, don't hide it from me, please. Huamin stared at Chin Chu's face anxiously. Finally, Chin Chu took a deep breath and looked up at Huamin. The bombs on you and Little Bean are cluster bombs. If you cut one of them, the other one will explode, and vice versa. If you cut them off at the same time, they'll explode at the same time, Chin Chu said in one breath. So, between me and Little Bean, only one of us can live, right? Huamian reacted quickly and realized the severity of the situation. Yes. Chin Chu nodded, completely disheartened. Let me think about what to do. Huamian looked down and thought for 10 seconds. Then, she looked up and held Chin Chu's face. Honey, look at me and listen to me. Go ahead. I want you to save Little Bean. No, Mian, I can't do that. You know I can't live without you. Chin Chu's heart ached, and he shook his head repeatedly. Honey, I know you don't want me to die, but I can't watch my children die just to survive. Plus, I love her so much. There are two things I'm most proud of in my life. One is that I have a husband who treats me so well, and the other is that I have two smart and adorable daughters. I've lived for almost 30 years, and I've tasted all the joys and sorrows in this world. But Little Bean is still so young, and she's only been in this world for 3 years. I don't want her to die just like that. I want to see her and Pudding grow up together, get married, and have their own children. So, honey, please, promise me that you'll let our daughters live. Please take good care of them, okay? Huamin said with tears in her eyes. She didn't want to die, nor did she want to leave her husband and daughters. She didn't want to leave this colorful world. However, if she had to choose between her and Little Bean, she would definitely let her daughter live. No mother was willing to trade her daughter's life for hers. Even if she did live, she wouldn't feel at ease for the rest of her life. No, I really can't. Mian, I can't do it. Don't be so cruel to me. Chin Chu shook his head desperately. Chapter 2007. Mr. Chin, I love you the most. You have to do this. I know it's cruel and difficult for you, but you have to understand that if you sacrifice Little Bean for me, I'll live in pain for the rest of my life. I know, but Mian, I can't lose you. I really can't lose you. Chin Chu hugged Huamin tightly. He really wanted to hold her like this forever. Then, when the bomb went off, he would take them to another world. Honey, I have enough. I have you, my daughters, my family, and my friends. I have enough. I have no regrets. I know it's hard for you to face the rest of your life, but the kids are still young. They need a good guardian. You have to live well. You have to take on the responsibility of a father. You've already missed 3 years with them, so you have to use the rest of your life to make up for it. Huamin tried to persuade Chin Chu with the responsibility of a father. What about you? Mian, we've already missed 11 years. How many 11 years do we have in our lives? Are you really going to abandon me like this? Qin Shu was in so much pain that he wanted to die. I don't want to. Maybe this is fate. If there's a next life, I'll still be waiting for you at second high. We'll fall in love while we're still in high school. Then, we'll graduate and go to the States to study. When we come back, we'll take over the family business. We'll get married and have kids. Everything will be fine. I don't want a next life. I only want this one. Qin Shu hugged Huamin tightly and refused to let go. President Qin, time is running out. You have to make a decision as soon as possible. The experts urged Qin Shu to make a decision. Qin Shu looked down at Huamin. There were only 3 minutes left on the timer. Qin Shu's heart sank. I want to save my wife. Qin Shu made up his mind. If you do that, I'll kill myself when I wake up. I can't sacrifice little Bean. Huamin looked at Qin Shu with hatred. Come on, don't call me Mian. I don't want to sacrifice little Bean. If you selfishly choose for me, I'll hate you for the rest of my life. Even if I survive, I'll kill myself. Then, you'll lose both of us, Huamian threatened fiercely. At this time, Gao Ran was also urging him through the walkie-talkie. Chu, you have to make a decision as soon as possible. I've already taken Little Bean away. If you choose Huamin, it's going to explode soon. If you choose the kids, we have to leave as soon as possible. We can't stay here any longer. We don't know how powerful the bomb is. President Qin, you should make a decision as soon as possible. There's not much time left. Everyone was urging Qin Shu. He felt like his head was about to explode. Finally, he roared, "Save my daughter." With that, he turned around and left, crying as he walked. His tears gushed out like a flood. Upon hearing this, the experts behind him immediately followed Qin Shu out. Since Qin Shu wanted to save his daughter, it meant that Huamin was about to explode. Huamin finally let out a sigh of relief. She looked at Qin Shu's handsome back and thought that at this moment, he was the most handsome man in the world. Honey, thank you. She closed her eyes with tears in her eyes, waiting for the last moment to come. On the other side, Gao Ran saw Qin Shu and the experts arrive. He asked anxiously, "Are you sure?" "Shut the fuck up, cut it." Qin Shu finally lost his temper. He pointed at Little Bean's detonator and ordered the experts. Chapter 2008. The bomb disposal experts were about to move when a woman's voice came from the door. "Don't move." They turned around and saw an unfamiliar young woman standing at the door with a small red box in her hand. "I have a way to save her." "Step back." The woman walked over step by step, panting. Obviously, she had come in a hurry. "Chu, do you know this person?" Gao Ran was dumbfounded. Qin Shu looked at the woman's face and found her unfamiliar, but her aura and aura were familiar. He couldn't figure it out. While everyone was still in a daze, the woman took out a mini decoder from the box and stuck it on the bomb. Then, like a doctor swiping a credit card, the timer stopped after 2 beeps. The bomb disposal experts behind them were all dumbfounded. Fuck! Gao Ran felt like he was in a dream. "You are?" Qin Shu had guessed her identity, but her appearance was too obvious. "You guys comfort the baby first. I'll go save her." Then, the woman turned around and ran toward Huamin. After the decoder decrypted one bomb, the other one stopped as well. When the 2 beeps sounded, Huamin felt like his heart was about to stop. She thought the bomb was going to explode, so she closed her eyes tightly and thought about the baby and Qin Shu. But after a while, there was still no response. When she opened her eyes again, she saw an unfamiliar woman in a black windbreaker walk in. Without a word, the woman took out a small item and stuck it on the bomb. Then, there was a click. "The bomb was removed. It's okay. You're safe." The unfamiliar woman finally let out a sigh of relief. Then, she excitedly put her arms around Huamin's neck. "You are?" Huamin looked at the stranger in front of him, confused. "Sis, I'm Lu Yen," Lu Yen said in a choked voice. Huamin was dumbfounded. "Lu Yen? You're Yen?" She couldn't believe it and thought she was dreaming. Ever since she found out that she had a younger sister named Lu Yen, she had been thinking about when they would meet again. But according to Qin Shu, it was because of that big pervert called Ian. Neither Lu Yin nor her father could have direct contact with her, so there was nothing they could do. It was the feeling of not being able to recognize each other despite knowing that they were family. Huamin didn't expect Lu Yin to appear at such a critical moment. Moreover, he had helped her remove the time bomb in time. Yin, my daughter has a bomb on her as well. Huamin reminded her in a panic. The child is safe. Don't worry. That's good, that's good. Huamin heaved a sigh of relief. At this time, Qin Shu and the others also rushed back. You guys wait here. I'll go after that Vietnamese woman. If she gets on the boat and runs into international waters, we'll be done for her. It'll be very difficult for us to catch her. Gao Ran remembered that other than Huasi, there was also a woman named Yuan Qingqing. She was the mastermind behind this incident. Don't bother. I already blew up the boat, Lu Yin said faintly. Gao Ran was speechless. Lu Yin, when did you get here? Although she was still wearing an ordinary human skin mask, Qin Shu still recognized her. I came here as soon as I heard that the child was kidnapped, but the process was a bit complicated. I had to shake off those people who were chasing me, and then I had to disguise myself. When I went through customs, I had to change my fingerprints to hide my tracks, so it took some time. Luckily, I made it in time. Lu Yin? Who's Lu Yin? Gao Ran was confused. He didn't know who this woman who said she blew up Yuan Qingqing's boat was. She's Mion's younger sister, Qin Shu introduced. Mion's younger sister? Gao Ran was even more confused. Chapter 2009. I'll explain it to you later. Let's go back first. Qin Shu picked up Huamin and explained as he walked. Lu Yin followed behind them. Gao Ran was still in a daze. He kept searching in his mind. Huamin had a sister who was a god. She could instantly decode the bomb that the experts couldn't. She could even blow up the boat that Yuan Qingqing used to escape. She must be a god. Just as he was thinking, his subordinate came in and reported, Chief Gao, the boat that Yuan Qingqing used to escape exploded for some reason. It's been burned to ashes. What should we do now? What else can we do? Of course we don't have to worry about it. What else can we do? Do you think we can go into the sea to get it? Gao Ran rolled his eyes at his subordinate. This proved that the person who claimed to be Huamin's sister was right. Gao Ran, where's Hui Yin? Huamin asked worriedly. Hui Yin and the kids were safely rescued by us. We'll record their statements later. Don't worry, her life is not in danger. Okay, that's good. Huamin and his family got into a car. Qin Shu drove while Huamin and Lu Yin sat in the back. After getting into the car, Lu Yin finally let out a sigh of relief. She leaned back and took off the human skin mask on her face. Lu Yin and Huamin had the same father and mother, but they weren't twins. Lu Yin was 3 years younger than Huamin. Huamin was 28 years old, while Lu Yin was 25 years old. She had the face of a very young girl, and she was a stunning beauty at first glance. She looked similar to Huamin. Why did you put on a disguise all of a sudden? Huamin looked at his sister in surprise. It's all because of that pervert Ian. I've been wanting to look for you for a long time, but Dad said no. He's afraid that I'll implicate you. You know, he's old, and he's afraid of wolves and tigers. I can't be too willful, so I've been holding back. When I received the news this time, I happened to be doing something in the Golden Triangle, so I rushed over without stopping. You can decode Huasi's bomb? Qin Shu had to admit that he was impressed by Lu Yin. Huasi's letter bomb was so powerful that even the experts couldn't solve it. They could only save one person. But in Lu Yin's hands, it was as easy as playing with a Rubik's Cube. She solved it in a few moves, which was a slap to the faces of those so-called experts. Of course, I made that bomb. How could I not know? Lu Yin crossed her arms over her chest and said arrogantly, You made it. Huamin was surprised. That was my masterpiece 5 years ago. After I developed it, I sold the technology directly to the Russian mafia. Oh, that's Xiao Fei's family. His family has a partnership with the Golden Triangle. Later on, the Golden Triangle used this technology in many places. It's not surprising that the Vietnamese mafia have this technology. You're such a nuisance. Why did you make bombs out of nowhere? Qin Shu complained with a dark expression. Hey, don't I make a living out of this? What can I do? Plus, I didn't think that those Vietnamese monkeys would come looking for you. Otherwise, I would have killed them. Luyan came just in time. Chin Chu was really scared out of his wits. Yin, Dad. Huamin was very excited and wanted to ask about his biological parents. Dad's doing great. He's healthy and eats well. Luyan smiled. What about Mom? Dr. Lin, you had always been a mystery. I'll tell you about Mom later. I can't explain it in a few words. At the mention of Mom, Luyan's eyes dimmed slightly. Sis, is this little bean? She's so cute. Luyan looked down at the sleeping little bean with love in her eyes. Chapter 2010. It's Little Bean, they're twins. Huamin hugged his daughter in relief. I know, I've seen their photos. They've always been there. Have you been following us? Huamin was surprised. Luyan nodded. Yeah, I've been following you for years, so has Dad. Oh, did you guys see Dad in the States? See Dad? No. Huamin was confused. Oh, right, I forgot to tell you. He was also in disguise, wearing a mask. He's the old man who gave us the balloons for free. After Luyan finished speaking, Huamin finally realized what was going on. Oh my God, that's Dad? Yeah, I didn't know. I really didn't know. I thought, hey, your brother-in-law thought he was someone with bad intentions, so we raised our guard. I was wondering why something was off, so it was... Huamin was surprised and happy. It's okay. We'll have plenty of chances in the future. Once I figure out a way to deal with Ian, we won't have anyone holding us back, and we can meet up whenever we want. Does Xiao Fei know about your trip this time? Chin Chu asked as he drove. Chin Chu, you're such a killjoy. Why did you bring up that big iceberg? Luyan pouted. Who's Xiao Fei? Huamin was surprised. Your brother-in-law. Chin Chu answered faintly. Not yet, okay? I'm not married to him yet. Luyan corrected him. That doesn't make a difference. You're in Russia for 200 days a year, right? Chin Chu's information was accurate. I'm hiding from Ian, right? I don't have a choice. Huamin was confused. He only knew that his sister had a fiancé in Russia. Yin, what does your boyfriend's family do? Huamin was curious. The biggest Chinese mafia in Russia. They're in the arms business, Luyan answered casually. Huamin coughed violently upon hearing this. Cough, cough, cough. Sis, are you okay? Luyan looked at Huamin nervously. Xian, how could you be with those people? How dangerous is that? What gangs? What arms dealers? Huamin couldn't accept it. His future brother-in-law was a member of a gang, and he was in the arms business. It was too scary. Seeing Huamin's big reaction, Luyan glanced at Chin Chu, who was driving. Brother-in-law, did you not tell my sister what I do for a living? Not yet. You can talk to her yourself. Chin Chu had told Huamin about Professor Ian and Luyan, but he didn't tell her what kind of business Luyan did or where she went every day. Therefore, Huamin had always thought that his sister was a weak woman who didn't even have the strength to trust a chicken. In fact, oh, okay, sis, I'll tell you. Don't be surprised that your sister has been in the mercenary business all these years. I have a mercenary group that accepts business from all over the world. The amount of money is huge. I also have many islands in the Pacific Ocean and my own arsenal. I could develop the most advanced bombs and resell them in all kinds of ways. I also accept all kinds of jobs that others don't dare to accept. As long as the money is right, I'll even dare to kill the Jade Emperor. Luyan finished speaking in one breath, and Huamin was dumbfounded. You don't have to be surprised. If I didn't train so hard, I wouldn't be alive now. So, I'm used to it. It's just like you being a doctor and a CEO. It's just a job. Luyan comforted Huamin. So, you're the legendary killer? Huamin looked at Luyan seriously and asked. Chapter 2011. Assassin? Do you think I'm too low? Sis, I'm a mercenary. Luyan, who had always been domineering, was acting cute to Huamin, which was a rare sight. Mercenary? I've only read about them in novels and on TV. Huamin was in disbelief. I'll tell you when I have a chance. I'm in a bit of a rush right now, and I'm a bit hungry. When we get home, make me some noodles, and a helicopter will come to pick me up. You're leaving so soon? Huamin looked at Luyan, a bit disappointed. Yeah, I can't stay for long anyway. I'll give myself away. I have to go back to the Golden Triangle immediately. I still have things to take care of. Oh, right. I'll take care of the Vietnam gang for you. Don't worry about them in the future, Lu Yin emphasized. That's good. I don't have to do it myself. Well, see, you won't be able to make it back to Vietnam alive, and Yuan Qingqing was killed in the explosion as well. Kill as many people as you can from the Vietnam gang. Also, Huasi's mother, Shun Jiani, you must find her. It's best if you can kill her as well, Qin Chu said mercilessly. After this incident, he couldn't be soft-hearted anymore. He almost killed his daughter and wife. Honey, Shun Jiani didn't do anything to hurt us, Huamin emphasized. If you don't remove the roots, they'll grow again. If Huasi doesn't make it back, Shun Jiani will hate us to death. She'll come looking for trouble in the future. I can't leave any more problems for you guys. I know you can't do this, but don't worry. Leave it to me. It's okay. Leave it to me. It's not a big deal. Lu Yin waved her hand. Qin Shu called Su Yu and asked him to drive Pudding back and meet them at South Hill Manor. When Qin Shu and the others arrived, Su Yu and the others were already there. Jing Jixin and Yang Meiyerong were waiting at home, scared out of their wits. Su Yu didn't dare to tell them what happened until he made sure they were back safely. Yang Meiyerong hugged Pudding and cried in fear. Mian, I'm so glad you guys are back. When Huamin got home, he whispered into Lu Yan's ear, my mom doesn't know about my identity yet. Don't tell her. I know, sis. Lu Yan nodded. Wow, this is Pudding, right? So cute. They look exactly the same. Lu Yan couldn't help but run over to hug Pudding. Pudding cautiously took 2 steps back. Yang Meiyerong was also stunned. This girl is... Oh, she's an expert from the bomb disposal team. Luckily, she arrived in time and saved us, Huamin explained. Really? Thank you so much, miss. Yang Meiyerong was very excited and grabbed Lu Yan's hand. Uncle Li, go prepare some food and cook a bowl of hot noodle soup, Huamin instructed. When they arrived home, Little Bean woke up. When the 2 sisters saw each other, they immediately gave each other a big hug. Children were indeed children. After coming back, they no longer thought about those unpleasant things. They went to play hand in hand and seemed to have forgotten how dangerous the scene was. Yang Meiyerong went into the kitchen to help cook, while Jixin washed fruits to serve everyone. Soon, Wei Liao, Jiang Xiaowei, Zhu Lingling, and Gao Ren all arrived. They didn't know about it until later, so they were still scared. The kitchen prepared a bowl of noodles, and Huamin brought it to Lu Yan. The 2 sisters sat alone in a small room. Lu Yan was also hungry, so she wolfed down the noodles. From time to time, he would look up at Huamian and smile happily. Yen, eat slowly. It's too hot. Sis, do you like noodles? I'm okay. I'm not picky. Then we're the opposite. I'm very picky. Dad always says that I have the body of a rich girl and the life of a homeless person. Huh. Yen, are you going back to the Golden Triangle? Lu Yen nodded. Then will it be dangerous? Huamin asked worriedly. Chapter 2012. I won't, sis. It's not the first time I've done something like this. Don't worry about me. Seeing Huamin's worried expression, Lu Yan's heart warmed. It felt good to have a sister's concern. Then when will you be done with it? 3 days at the earliest. Where will you go after you're done? I'll go back to Russia. After all, it's safer with Psycho Chiao, Lu Yan said after some thought. Then you have to be careful. Okay. By the way, I received a jade gourd. It's priceless. I gave it to you. I have one too. We got a pair. Lu Yan smiled. Huamin immediately understood. Otherwise, he would have been shocked when he received an expensive gift out of nowhere. Eat slowly. Don't worry. You won't get indigestion. Sis, are you happy now? Lu Yan finished the noodles in her bowl in a few bites. Then, she put down the bowl heavily and looked at Huamin seriously. Yeah, I'm happy. Although I believed in the process, the result is what I wanted. I don't have any big dreams or ambitions in my life. I just want to be with Qin Shu and have children. I want to live a good life. It's that simple. If I have time, I want to go back and be a doctor. Although I work hard at Southside, my life is very fulfilling. I enjoy the rhythm of life. Huamin recalled carefully. That's good. As long as you're happy. Dad's right. Although we're separated from these people and don't dare to acknowledge them, It's worth it for you to live a peaceful life. If Mom knew, she'd be very happy. Lu Yin was slightly moved. Yin, do you spend a lot of time with Dad? Huamin asked softly. Yeah, when I was young, I knew I wasn't an ordinary child. Dad was always in hiding, and it seemed like someone was always looking for him. He spent most of his time in the lab, and most of his time on the run with me. After Mom's accident, Dad and I basically ran all over the world. During the run, I learned a lot of survival skills. I even learned how to research biochemical weapons like Dad. I was most interested in explosives. Later, I became braver and dared to fight with the people who wanted to kill me. Dad saw that I could take care of myself, so he went into hiding and never came back. During these years, I stayed in Hong Kong for a few years and even went to school there. I liked a boy, but later, he was shot dead because of me. Lu Yin spoke casually, but Huamin could still feel the fragile heart under her calm face. Later, when I got older, I stopped going to school because I could learn those things after just one look. I traveled all over the world. I liked Italy and Turkey. Although it was dangerous and chaotic, I could get rich there. I liked Dubai too. I could squander money like it was water. It made me feel like I was still alive in this world. Later on, I secretly went to West Point Military Academy in the States. When I graduated, I killed the instructor who abused me and became the FBI's most wanted criminal. Huh. Sis, you can't believe it, right? Do you think what I'm saying is far away from your life? After saying this, Lu Yin smiled sadly. When she looked at Huamin, her eyes were filled with sadness. Yin, you've worked hard all these years. Huamin stood up and hugged Lu Yin. His voice was choked with sobs. Chapter 2013. It's nothing. I'm used to it. Lu Yin pretended to be nonchalant, but Huamin really cared about his little sister. Just then, Lu Yin's watch flashed. She stood up alertly and pressed it. What is it? Speak. Boss, the helicopter will land on South Hill Manor in 15 minutes. Please get ready to leave. Got it. After hanging up, Lu Yin glanced at Huamin. Sis, I'll go now. In fact, Lu Yin didn't want to leave. When can we meet again? Huamin asked. We'll see. I'll arrange it as soon as possible. Don't worry. I'll keep an eye on you and send people to protect you and the twins. Don't worry. Okay, then I'll go now. Lu Yin opened the window and jumped out. Why don't you go out the front door? Aren't you going to say goodbye to Pudding and Little Bean? Huamin was speechless when he saw Lu Yin jump out of the window. No, I'll be even more reluctant to leave if I see the twins. Take care, sis. Then, Lu Yin jumped down from the second floor and disappeared into the night. Huamin felt like everything was just a dream. It wasn't until 5 minutes after Lu Yin disappeared that Huamin came back to his senses. He carried Lu Yin's empty bowl downstairs. She left. Qin Shu asked. Huamin nodded. Because of Qin Shu's repeated reminders, Gao Ren didn't mention Huamin's little sister in front of everyone. When Huamin came downstairs, everyone was sitting around a table. The kitchen had prepared a lot of delicious dishes. They say that one who survives a disaster is destined for good fortune. Come, let's help our goddess will calm down, and our baby calm down. Gao Ran raised his wine glass. Uncle Gao, I have something to talk to you about. Go ahead, Pudding. When you were arresting people, did you see a big dumb guy called Dahai? The sea? I didn't notice that. Why? Gao Ran looked at Pudding curiously. That guy used to work for the bad guy. He was involved in our kidnapping, but I turned him against us. At the last moment, he and Annie Yin saved us. I was worried that he would be in danger if he betrayed us, so I asked. I see. Wait a moment, I'll call and ask. With that, Gao Ran immediately called the police station. After hanging up, he said to Pudding, we caught him, but he's seriously injured. He's undergoing surgery in the hospital. He was beaten up by his accomplices. But don't worry, his life isn't in danger. Then I'm going to visit him tomorrow. I promised him that as long as he lets me and my sister go, I'll ask my daddy to give him a lot of money. I'll even help his seriously ill mother operate on her, Pudding said slowly. Wow, not bad. You know how to negotiate. You're good, Pudding. Zhu Lingling lovingly patted Pudding's head. Annie Lingling, I'm good too. I lured the pursuers away and bought precious time for my sister. In the end, Mommy and I were tied to a bomb. I was so scared. Thank goodness I was lucky, Pudding said as she patted her chest. Everyone didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Me on. This incident was really dangerous. You guys have to be more careful in the future. Jiang Xiaowei looked at Huamin and advised. Huamin nodded. Huh? Handsome Sue, why aren't you talking? You haven't spoken to my mommy since you came in. Are you still mad because my mommy lied to you and sneaked out of the hospital? Pudding looked up at Su Yu and asked. Upon hearing this, everyone immediately looked at Su Yu. Chapter 2014. Little Bean, don't talk nonsense. Su Yu looked embarrassed. I'm not talking nonsense. Everyone can see that you didn't talk to my mommy. So, you're not going to forgive her this time? Ahem. Little Bean, eat your food. Huamin couldn't sit still anymore. This little bitch. I'm not mad at your mommy. Now that you guys are back safely, everyone is happy, so you explained patiently. Then you could talk to my mommy and prove it. Little Bean didn't want to let him go. Pudding, hurry up and teach your sister a lesson. Su Yu immediately asked for help. To his surprise, Pudding glanced at Su Yu's face and said, My sister is right. Handsome Su, you should talk to my mommy. Otherwise, how can we have fun together in the future? Su Yu, Pudding, aren't you afraid that your daddy will be jealous if you talk like this? Wei Liao teased them. Is my daddy that narrow-minded? Uncle Wei, you're underestimating my daddy. My daddy is a great hero who saved us all by himself. Fine, you flatter me. I'm too embarrassed to be jealous, Qin Shu joked, which was rare for him. In the end, Su Yu couldn't win against the two little brats. He looked at Huamin awkwardly and said, What happened today was too dangerous. Don't be so impulsive in the future. No, I should say don't do it in the future. Everyone was scared to death by you guys. Huamin smiled. I know. Thank you. You were worried about us again today. Also, you and Lord Su led so many people to look for us. That's not important. What's important is that you guys came back safely. After Su Yu and Huamin talked, the atmosphere relaxed. At the table, everyone was chatting with each other. After eating, the twins secretly grabbed Su Yu's hand and went back to their room secretly. Handsome Su, we have a present for you. I know. A Versace belt, right? Su Yu said proudly. Damn, how did you know? There must be a mole. Sis, did you tell them? Little Bean said angrily. How is that possible? Are you kidding me? Am I that kind of person? Pudding said proudly. Stop arguing, Qin Ning told me. Su Yu crossed his arms and said proudly. Auntie, how did she tell you? Do you have a secret relationship with her? Wow, something's up with you. You're having an affair with my auntie behind our backs? Little Bean covered her mouth and laughed. Come on, little ancestor. That's not how you should use the phrase, okay? Su Yu was speechless. Hurry up and tell us. How did you guys get in touch? The twins asked eagerly. Finally, Su Yu told them about his phone call with Qin Ning. What the hell? Auntie is so careless. How could she tell? Humph. There's no surprise. Little Bean pouted. Pudding handed the present to Su Yu. Take it. We got beaten up for your belt. Stop. It wasn't us. It was me. I got beaten up by Goddess Hua, okay? Little Bean pointed at herself. Su Yu couldn't help but laugh. Little Bean was so cute. You're still laughing. I did it for you. You're crazy. Little Bean protested. Beating you is the right thing to do. Let's see if you dare to go out alone again. I'll teach you a lesson if I beat you up, Su Yu added. Hey, you're so heartless. Do Lord Su and Grandma Su know? Little Bean retorted. Just then, Little Bean remembered something important. Handsome Su, is Annie arriving soon? Are you going to pick her up at the airport? After all, she called you to tell you the schedule. Pudding tilted her head and looked at Su Yu calmly. Chapter 2015. But I don't know your auntie that well. Su Yu was in a difficult position. No one is born familiar with each other. Do you think you'll get to know each other over time? Don't be shy. Go. Or you could drag us with you to pick them up. It won't be awkward, right? Forget it if the two of you go. I don't think anything good will happen. It'll be even more awkward. The twins and Su Yu began to bicker in the room. When Su Yu walked out with the gift, his face was filled with happiness. Oh, you have a gift? You sure are treated well, Wei Liao teased. You're a super VIP in the twins' eyes, President Su, Zhu Lingling teased. I'm a rare gem. I can't help it, Su Yu said proudly. But how come I heard that the twins were beaten up for this gift? Jiang Xiaowei asked with a smile. Let's not talk about that. I'm asking Huamin. You're too cruel. How could you beat up such young children? They can't even fight back, yet you beat them up. Are you even their mother? Su Yu became angry at the mention of this. He turned to Huamin and asked. Huamin was much calmer. I'm just teaching them how to behave. They can't ignore others for their own selfish reasons. They had good intentions when they bought you a gift, but they almost got into big trouble because of it. They made my uncle and Ning worry for over 4 hours and even alerted the Los Angeles police. I can't tolerate this kind of behavior, and I won't allow my daughters to be so willful. Fine, fine, fine. You always have your reasons. Every time I say one sentence, you'll say 10. I'm too lazy to argue with you. When I get home, I'll tell Grandpa that you beat up the kids. You can explain it to him yourself. Su Yu, are you a man or not? How can you tell Lord Su for no reason? Huamin was speechless. However, this was Su Yu's trump card. I don't want to waste my time talking to you guys. I'm leaving. I'm going to pick up Little Bean and pudding for dinner this weekend. You two should be busy. You don't have a chance. Su Yu glanced at Qin Shu and Huamin. Then, she held his Versace belt and proudly walked away. Huamin and Qin Shu were speechless. After her friends left one after another, the house finally became much quieter. Yang Meiyerong took the twins back to their room to sleep. Jixin was also a little tired, so after saying goodbye to them, he went upstairs. Huamin and Qin Shu were sitting in the living room downstairs, drinking hot tea by the fireplace. Qin Shu was wearing a black casual shirt with the collar slightly open. Huamin hugged a dark green square pillow and leaned against Qin Shu's chest. The two of them intimately snuggled up to each other, enjoying the quiet night. What are you thinking about? Qin Shu asked softly as he played with Hua Min's long hair. Honey, are you mad at me today? Hua Min tilted her head and stared at Qin Shu's face as she asked. She sounded like a spoiled little girl. Mad? Why would I be mad? Qin Shu was slightly surprised. He didn't know why Hua Min suddenly asked this. Because I didn't ask you to kill Hua Xiqian. After all, he caused us so much trouble. Huamin couldn't help but feel uneasy when he thought about what happened. First of all, if Hua Xiqian didn't die, there would be more trouble in the future. After all, he wasn't someone who would give up easily. Second of all, this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to deal with Hua Xiqian. If he missed this opportunity, he didn't know when he would get another one like this. Chapter 2016. Huamin let Hua Xiqian go because of her compassion. She was conflicted and didn't know if she did the right thing or not. She didn't know if Qin Shu would hold a grudge against her because of this. She was afraid that this incident would cause a rift between her and Mr. Qin. Upon hearing Huamin's words, Qin Shu smiled and patted Huamin's head. You always think too much. Why would I be mad at you? Plus, you did the right thing back then. I was blinded by hatred. If I made a move and someone took a picture of it, I would be guilty of murder. Even though I killed bad people, I'm not a police officer. I don't have the right to bring bad people to justice. Evil people will be punished by the heavens. I wouldn't feel bad even if Hua Xiqian died 100 times over for what he did, but he shouldn't have ended it with my own hands. I think a person like him would be too comfortable if he just died. It would be better for him to stay in prison for the rest of his life. That way, he could face the long years of prison and reflect on all the crimes he committed. Whether it's Hua Zhenghai, Jiang Linyue, Wang Shasha, or Song Yishe, he has to give justice to those who died for no reason. I'll do what I have to do. I'll slowly defeat him, collect information on his crimes, and finally bury everything he has. That's true revenge, and it's not as simple as killing him. Mr. Qin had a cold personality and rarely spoke for a long time. However, he knew that if he didn't explain things clearly this time, Huamin's thoughts would run wild. Therefore, he patiently explained his thoughts to Huamin. Huamin was very happy to hear this. She leaned her head against Qin Shu's chest. Honey, you're the best. You'll always be a hero in my heart. Huamin was full of admiration for Qin Chu. Just like tonight, he fought against Huasi's men all by himself. Then, he fought Huasi to the death. In the end, he had to face life and death with Huamin and Little Bean. This man had endured too much pressure. If anyone told her that her husband was weak and was no longer the same as before, she would be the first to reject them. Perhaps after becoming a father, Qin Chu had the additional responsibility of being a father and the love of being a father. But that didn't mean that he was soft-hearted and indecisive. It didn't mean that he wasn't strong. It was just that he was more willing to endure and wait for an opportunity. Compared to Qin Chu, Suyu often lost because he wasn't steady enough. He was still a little impulsive, so he couldn't win Huamin's heart no matter what. As for Qin Chu, whether he was young or now, there was always something about him that Huamin admired and was obsessed with. Who said that? When two people were together, the best relationship wasn't mutual respect, but mutual admiration. They should always admire and love each other, and then spend the rest of their lives together. Not hate, annoyance, or dislike. Okay, Dr. Hua, don't flatter me. I haven't had the chance to settle accounts with you for threatening me today. Qin Chu lowered his head and used the tip of his nose to rub Huamin's face lovingly. Settle what accounts? Huamin continued to play dumb. I'm not playing dumb, honey. Who was the one who threatened me tonight? She said that if I saved her, she would never forgive me. She's so stubborn. Tell me, how should I punish you? Qin Chu lowered his head and whispered into Huamin's ear. Chapter 2017. I was in a hurry. I didn't mean what I said. Huamin felt guilty. Really? How come I didn't see it? Why do I feel like you were ready to die? You're really good at threatening your husband. Dr. Hua, I really underestimated you. Qin Chu still had lingering fears when he remembered how crazy Huamin was back then. She didn't even need to think for a long time before she was sure that he would go and save Little Bean. A mother could sacrifice her life for her child at any time. This was something that anyone could understand. However, as Huamin's husband and the man who loved her the most, Qin Chu couldn't accept that his wife left them so easily and left him to take care of their 2 3-year-old babies. To Qin Chu, this was extremely cruel. Ahem. Mr. Qin, please calm down. It's all in the past. Don't bring it up, okay? Don't brush me off. It's not over yet. Tell me, how are you going to make it up to me? Qin Chu slowly lowered his body and almost pressed Huamin under his body. His cool lips were less than 3 centimeters away from Huamin's cherry lips. Mr. Qin was extremely seductive, and Huamin was completely captivated. Then, how are you going to make it up to me? Huamin swallowed and continued to feel guilty. What do you think? I don't know. Huamin continued to play dumb. You don't need to know. Just feel it. Then, Mr. Qin lowered his body and kissed Huamian intensely. Honey, this is the living room. There's so many people here. There were a lot of servants at South Hill Manor, and they were kissing in the living room on the first floor. Luckily, Uncle Lee was very understanding. He waved his hand and asked everyone to leave, giving the couple some quiet space. Qin Chu didn't let go of Huamin until they were both out of breath. Are you going to say that you're leaving us again? Mr. Qin asked domineeringly. I didn't do it on purpose. Let's see if you still dare to do it. Qin Chu purposely bit her lips lightly and teased her. Get up. Don't let anyone see. It's so embarrassing. Huamin immediately pushed Qin Chu away, sat up, and covered her red cheeks. Honey, are you hinting that we should go back to our room? Qin Chu's mouth. While Huamin said this, no, that's not what I meant. Mr. Qin, don't bully me, Huamian yelled. Okay, I won't tease you anymore. Let's go to bed. You really need a good rest today. Although I want to eat you, I'm not in a hurry. You should recover first. Then, Qin Chu got up, picked up Huamin, and carried her up to the bedroom on the second floor. The terrible day was finally over. Huamin slept soundly in Qin Chu's arms. The next morning, Qin Chu and Huamin went to the company for a meeting. Suyu drove a Rolls-Royce to pick up the twins and drove them to the airport. Auntie is about to land. Yay! I didn't think she'd come so soon. Little Bean was in a good mood. Annie must be worried about us. That's why she flew here in such a hurry, right? Pudding analyzed calmly. So Annie really didn't come because she wanted to see Handsome Sue? Little Bean's words almost made Suyu, who was driving, spit out his drink. I'm telling you, when Chi Ning gets off the plane, you two better behave yourselves. Don't talk nonsense. Suyu was scared of the twins. Chapter 2018. Handsome Sue, don't be nervous. Little Bean comforted Suyu. I'm not nervous, Suyu retorted. Calm down. Don't fall in love with my Annie at first sight. After all, she's so pretty. Little Bean covered her mouth and continued to laugh. In the end, Suyu decided to ignore them. They didn't look like people who had just been through a disaster. They were clearly two little devils who had come back to life. Inside the arrivals hall of Sea City International Airport, Chi Ning walked out with a black and white suitcase. She was wearing light blue jeans and black boots. He was wearing a heavy black leather jacket with a white wool collar. His long hair was naturally scattered. She also wore a black baseball cap and sunglasses that covered half of her face. She looked very fashionable. Perhaps because she grew up in the States, Chi Ning liked very fashionable things. Basically, she was constantly experimenting with different styles. Auntie, over here. The twins waved their hands. Chi Ning ran over excitedly with her luggage. Pudding, Little Bean. She knelt down and hugged the twins excitedly. It took her a while to calm down. Thank goodness you guys are okay. You scared me. Chi Ning let out a sigh of relief. She had been thinking about all sorts of things on the plane and didn't sleep well. Therefore, she had dark circles under her eyes and kept thinking about the kids. She didn't expect that when she landed, the kids would be fine. How lucky. Auntie, this is Handsome Sue. Pudding didn't forget to play matchmaker and introduce Chi Ning to him. Chi Ning looked up and saw Suyu standing on the side, wearing a navy blue casual jacket. Hello. Hello. They greeted awkwardly. Let's get in the car first. Suyu took Chi Ning's luggage and led them out. Pudding and Little Bean each held Chi Ning's hand happily. Where Daddy and Mommy? Chi Ning asked. They're so busy. They're all at the company, and they have to record statements at the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Daddy said you can come home with us to rest. But since you came from so far away, Handsome Sue has to treat you to a meal. After all, he's the host, right? Isn't that right, Handsome Sue? Little Bean asked. Sure, what do you want to eat? Suyu nodded. I'm not that hungry. I already ate on the plane. You don't have to be so polite. Chi Ning politely declined. Auntie, you don't have to be so polite. Handsome Sue is super rich. You don't have to worry about him going broke. Little Bean made a face. There's a new Japanese restaurant on Dongyang Street. Handsome Sue, my Annie likes sashimi. Do you want to take us there? Pudding even picked a place. You too. You won't be satisfied until I'm dead, right? Suyu laughed as he drove. Unable to dissuade the twins, Suyu picked up Chi Ning and drove them back to South Hill Manor. Then, they went straight to a Japanese restaurant, GK headquarters. At the morning meeting, Chin Shu announced that he would continue to hold the position of CEO, while Huamin also stepped down. All the executives were shocked. President Hua, you've done a good job. You can help President Chin here. With both of you here, we'll be more at ease. Why don't you stay? A few executives didn't want Huamin to leave and try to persuade him. President Chin can handle it alone. It's better for me to step back. Huamin smiled. President Hua, are you going home to take care of the kids? That's not like you. Yang couldn't help but ask. Chapter 2019. Do I look like someone who only knows how to take care of kids at home? Huamin smiled as he looked at Assistant Yang. Of course not. That's why I'm curious. Why are you quitting? I just don't think this job suits me. I've been in this position for the past 3 years to temporarily replace President Chin. Now that he's back, I can finally retire. Then you're going to? Assistant Yang could vaguely guess Hua Min's intentions. Bella was the first to react, and she quickly said, President Hua, but going back to Southside, right? Yes. Hua Min nodded. All of the executives were shocked. When I was young, my dream was to be a doctor, and it's still the same after I grew up. Being a doctor is my biggest dream and goal. I've been working hard to achieve it, but now that President Qin is back, I have nothing to worry about. So, I want to go back to my original position. After Huo Min finished speaking, the entire room fell silent. They might not understand how much money a doctor could make. Their annual salary might not even be as much as Huo Min's next contract. However, in this world, there were many things that couldn't be measured by money. No matter how much money you had, you couldn't buy time, happiness, or a person's dreams and ambitions. Many people would lose their way and forget their original intentions. But Huo Mian was still able to stay true to her heart. This was why Qin Chu favored her so much. Thank you for your support over the past 3 years. Thank you for your hard work and dedication to GK. President Qin, and I thank you all. Please continue to work hard, and I hope that we can continue to do better. Then, Huo Min took 2 steps back, stood up, and bowed deeply to all of his colleagues. Oh, President Huo, don't do this, we don't deserve it. Everyone panicked. After saying that, Huo Min whispered something to Qin Chu. Then, he turned around and said, I still have some personal matters to attend to. You guys continue with the meeting. From today onwards, CEO Qin will officially return to his original job. Everyone, please work hard on the handover. After that, Huo Min turned around and walked out of the meeting room. Qin Chu continued the meeting calmly. Huo Min drove the Audi R8 to the first hospital. There were 3 special patients living here: Huo Yinyin, Dahai, and Huo Xiqian. These people were all closely related to the kidnapping case. Huo Min had to see them. The person she missed the most was Huo Yinyin. Huo Yinyin had played a huge role in this incident. She even fell out with Huo Xi and let her daughter go behind his back. In the end, Ruan Qingqing flew into a rage out of humiliation. She ordered her subordinates to beat up Huo Yinyin and break 2 of her ribs. Apparently, the child was also scared out of her wits. Huo Min didn't go out last night because it was too late. Today, after handing over his work to the company, he felt relaxed and could finally take care of these troublesome matters. Inside the hospital room, when Huo Min walked in, Tian was tiptoeing to feed Huo Yinyin porridge. Mommy, slow down. It's hot, the little girl said considerately. Huo Min's eyes teared up. It was said that the children of poor families matured early. It seemed that it was true. Huo Yinyin's daughter wasn't much older than Pudding and Little Bean, but she was already a little girl. Yinyin, Huo Min said softly and then walked out. Mian, you're here. Huo Yinyin saw Huo Min walk in and immediately felt a sense of familiarity. She changed from the original Huo Min to Huo Mian. This was a detail that Huo Min didn't overlook. How are you feeling today? Does it still hurt? Huo Min walked over and asked softly. Chapter 2020. It doesn't hurt anymore. The doctor said I'm fine. Broken ribs are a small matter and can be fixed. How are you? Are you hurt? Huo Yinyin asked anxiously. No, we're fine. Huo Min squatted down and patted Tiantian's head. Good baby. Here, give it to Annie. Annie will feed your mommy. You should rest for a while. Tian nodded and handed the kanji to Huo Min. Huo Min carefully fed Huo Yinyin. You're still weak. Rest well and don't think about anything else. Mian, how is Si? Huo Yinyin knew that her brother had become a bad guy, but she was still worried about him. Huo Min's hand that was holding the kanji paused. The police arrested him, and he's awaiting trial. Sai, he's so stupid. How did he end up like this? Mian, listen to me. Si wasn't like this before. You know that he's unreliable and bad-tempered, but he's not crazy. The reason why this happened was because of that Vietnamese woman. Really, that woman is evil. Si didn't have a mind of his own and listened to everything she said. You have to get the police to arrest her. She's the main culprit and Si is at most an accomplice. I know, Yin. It was Yuan Qingqing's idea. Huo Si was only used by her as a pawn. Did the police arrest her? Huo Yinyin asked anxiously. No, because she's dead. Dead. Huo Yinyin froze. Yeah, she left Huo Si behind and got onto a boat. She wanted to go to the international waters, but the boat exploded for some reason. Nothing was left of her. It's karma. That evil woman deserves to die. Huo Yinyin clenched her teeth in hatred. Yin Yin, thank you so much. Thank you for risking your life to let my daughter go. Huamin put down the bowl of kanji and held Hui Yin Yin's hand gratefully. Don't say that. You've been good to me. I, Hui Yin Yin, am not an ungrateful person. I don't want to do something so heartless. Even if C kidnapped someone else's child, I would still let them go. After all, I don't want him to do such a heartless thing. After going through so many things, Hui Yin Yin's tea believe in karma and karma. So, she felt like she made the right decision. What? What's your plan? Hua. I don't know. I can't do much in my current state. After I recover and get discharged, I want to go to the prison to see C. If I have a chance, I want to go to Vietnam to bring my mom back. I don't think she has the guts to come back. After all, Hua Xiqian isn't dead, Huamin reminded her. Hua Xiqian won't kill my mother, right? My brother was arrested and will go to jail. It's time to put an end to this. I don't have a single family left. Only my mother is still in Vietnam. I don't want her to be in a foreign country. I want to find her. Hui Yin Yin's voice was small, but Huamin could tell that she was very pitiful. Yin Yin, don't worry about your injuries. Tian should start kindergarten soon. After you're discharged, I'll give you a 2-bedroom house owned by GK. You can move in there, and I'll arrange your child's school. If you want, you can choose to work at GK, or I'll give you some money to open your own store. It'll be enough for you and your child to survive. Mian, don't be so nice to me. You don't owe me anything. It's my duty to save your daughter. Hui Yin Yin was flattered. Chapter 2021. No one should do this for anyone. I'm very grateful for what you've done for my daughter and me. You deserve this. You're not in a good condition right now, so take it. Don't be polite with me. If you have any difficulties, just let me know. Even though we're not biological sisters, we've known each other since we were kids. I really don't want to see you in such a difficult situation. Huamin comforted her. Before Hui Yin Yin could say anything, Huamin added, even if you don't think for yourself, you have to think for your child. She's still young, so you have to provide her with a good environment and atmosphere. Okay, I understand that you're doing this for my sake. You've always been a far-sighted person. Anyway, thank you. Hui Yin Yin was very grateful that Huamin had arranged everything for her. Just then, someone knocked on the door. Huamin turned around and saw that it was Shun Mingxi. I'm here to see Hui Yin Yin. Shun Mingxi was holding a bouquet of heavenly fragrant lilies in his hand. His voice was a little cold. He was as cold as Qin Chu and Rick. Apparently, the person he was closest to was Su Yu. Therefore, the outside world couldn't figure out what was going on in this rich guy's mind. Oh, okay. You guys talk, I'll go out first. Before he left, Huamin didn't forget to remind Hui Yin Yin, don't worry and don't think too much. I'll take the child with me in a bit. She'll stay at my place until you're discharged. Otherwise, staying at the hospital will be too tiring. Okay. Hui Yin Yin looked at Huamin gratefully again. Huamin picked up Tian from the floor. Baby, let's go to Annie's house and play with the little sisters. Okay? Auntie, is your house fun? Of course. Annie has an amusement park and 2 cute little sisters. There are also lots of toys. Huamin smiled. Really? Okay. But mommy's still sick. The little girl looked at Hui Yin Yin worriedly. Don't worry. When mommy recovers, we'll come and pick her up. You can stay at Auntie's house for the next few days, okay? Tian, go with me and listen to me, Hui Yin Yin said to her daughter. Finally, Tian and Huamian walked out of the hospital room. Tian, and Tian, and Tian, and Tian. Shun said Tian's and Tian. Horror. You should leave. If Wei Ying sees you, she'll misunderstand. Hui Yin Yin didn't dare to look at Shun Mingxi's face. When she got married later on, she had already given up on this man's wishful thinking. Wei Ying and I already signed the divorce papers, Shun Mingxi said calmly, as if he was stating a fact. Hui Yin Yin's eyes widened as she stared at him in disbelief. How is that possible? Hui Yin Yin couldn't believe it. It's true, Shun Mingxi said calmly. On the other side of the hospital room, Huamin walked in and saw a nurse changing a man's bandages. The man's injuries were similar to Hua Xiqian's. He had multiple internal injuries, including a laceration to his spleen and stomach. "Hello, are you Mr. Sundahai?" Huamin walked in, holding Tiantian's hand. "Who are you?" The man looked at Huamin as if he didn't know him. He was one of Huamin's men and was responsible for looking after the twins. He had never seen Huamin before, so he was a little surprised. "I'm Huamin. I'm the twins' mother. You should know Pudding, right?" Huamin asked. Chapter 2022. Pudding? Yeah, I know that little brat. Dahai chuckled. "Yeah, I'm here to visit you on behalf of Pudding. She'll be here later. Are the two kids okay?" Dahai asked with concern. "No, they're fine. Thank you. You don't have to thank me. Pudding said that your family is rich and will give me a lot of money to treat my mother." Dahai was a stubborn person and still remembered the two things that Pudding promised him. Huamin nodded. "Don't worry. Just focus on recovering. I've already deposited the money into your bank account, 3 million yuan. 3 million? The man was shocked. "Yes, this money is enough for you to live comfortably for the rest of your life. Also, we told the police that we'll atone for your crimes and won't let you go to jail. As for your mother, don't worry. I've already sent someone to bring her to Southside. I'll go to Southside tomorrow and contact a few neurosurgeons to examine her and perform surgery immediately." "That's great." Dahai finally let out a sigh of relief. It seemed like he made the right move. He had the money, and his mother's illness was cured. It seemed like he was right to trust Pudding. "Take care of yourself. The nurses will take care of you for the next few days. Call me if you need anything. This is my phone number." Huamin left him a business card and left with Tiantian's hand in his. Finally, they arrived at the door of the last room and saw a lot of bodyguards from afar. "Missa." It seemed like all of Hua Xiqian's subordinates knew who Huamin was. "How is he?" "President Hua is seriously injured and is still in intensive care. Can I go in and take a look?" Huamin asked. "Wait, Miss Yin Ruashi is inside. I'll call her out. Only one person can go in at a time." Then, the subordinate opened the door and went to report. Yin Ruashi was holding a glass of water and feeding Hua Xiqian water with a straw. He was indeed seriously injured. His lungs were bleeding badly, and if he was sent here any later, he would have died. Only a cockroach like Hua Xiqian could survive Hua Xi's torture. "Qian, drink a few more mouthfuls. The doctor said that drinking more water is good for your recovery." When Yin Ruashi heard that Hua Xiqian had almost died, she cried her eyes out and took care of him without rest. However, Hua Xiqian still did not appreciate it. "Take it. Get out." "Boss, Miss Hua is here," his subordinate reported. Upon hearing that Huamin had arrived, Hua Xiqian's eyes immediately lit up. "Let her in. Are you happy that Huamin is here? I really don't know what you're so proud of. If it weren't for her, would you have become like this? I'm going to give her a good scolding." Yin Ruashi was furious when she heard that Huamin was here. Without waiting for Hua Xiqian to speak, he ran out angrily. The moment he stepped out, he bumped into Huamin. "Huamin, don't you think he's in enough trouble?" Yin Ruashi roared as she pointed at Huamin. "Miss Yin, what do you mean by that? Don't play dumb with me. If it weren't for you, Qin wouldn't have been injured so badly. He almost died. Do you know that? Do you still have conscience?" Yin Ruashi accused Huamin with tears in her eyes. "Do you know the details of this incident?" Huamin looked at Yin Ruashi curiously. "I don't need to know. I know it's because of you. Otherwise, with Qian's brain, he wouldn't have been so careless and gotten kidnapped. He went because he was worried about you. You really got him killed. How dare you come here? Whether I come or not has nothing to do with you. As far as I know, you're not related to him." Yin Ruashi did not expect Huamin to be so stubborn. She was so angry that she was speechless. Huamin did not like the arrogant attitude of these princess-like girls, so he spoke rudely and did not give her any face. "Miss Hua, please. The boss wants you in." One of his subordinates walked over and looked at Huamin politely. Chapter 2023. I won't let her go. Yin Ruashi was so angry that she tried to stop Huamin. "Miss Yin, please don't make it difficult for us. This is what the boss wants." In the end, Yin Ruashi watched helplessly as Huamin walked into the hospital room. She took Tian Tian to the OB-GYN department of the first hospital and had head nurse Sue take a look at her. Then, she went in alone to visit Huasiqian. He was indeed in a terrible state, with white bandages all over his body. Huamin had already seen his medical record, and it was indeed horrifying. Huasi was extremely cruel. He tortured Huasiqian so badly that he almost died. There were dozens of wounds all over his body. The two most serious cuts were on his thighs. The arteries in his thighs were almost damaged, and his spleen was damaged as well. His lungs were also bleeding internally. He had undergone major surgery and was still under observation. If his body didn't become infected within 48 hours, he would be out of danger. Mian, you're here? Huasiqian looked at Huamin weakly. Yeah, I came to see if you're dead, Huamin said deliberately with a cold expression on his face. Haha, you're so soft-hearted. I know you're worried about me, so you came to see me. Don't flatter yourself. Who's worried about you? Huamin glared at him. Are the twins hurt? No, they're fine. What about you? Are you hurt anywhere? I'm fine. Huamin was fine aside from his swollen cheeks from being slapped by Huasi. That's good. Huasiqian sighed in relief. Do you know that you almost died because of Huasi's injuries? Huamin looked at him seriously and asked. I know. That bastard must hate me to death. He must want to kill me. If you knew he would treat you like that, why did you still come? Because if I don't go, you'll be in trouble. Because in his eyes, we're both enemies. If I don't go, he'll vent all his anger on you. If it were you, you probably wouldn't have lasted until now. Huasiqian said half-jokingly. But is it worth it? Huamin asked in a low voice. Until now, she still refused to admit that Huasiqian loved her, so Huamin still found it hard to understand her actions. Of course it's worth it. You've known me for so many years. Do you think I'm the kind of person who would make a loss? Huasiqian chuckled. And if it weren't for you, I reckon that Qin Shu would have already killed me, right? Huasiqian tried hard to recall that scene. He vaguely remembered how Qin Shu angrily grabbed his collar with a knife and wanted to kill him, but he didn't. Huamin must have said something to him. My husband isn't a murderer. Someone like you, who has done all kinds of evil, you should be judged by the law. Huamin looked at Huasiqian coldly. Come here. Huasiqian gestured with his finger. What? Huamin cautiously took 2 steps back. Look at me like an idiot. Come here. I won't do anything to you. You don't have to be wary of me. I'm already in this state. What can I do to you? Ha! Huasiqian shook his head and smiled helplessly. Huasiqian hesitated for a while before slowly walking over. Look at you, you're so disobedient. I warned you before to be careful. Our enemy is back, but you didn't listen. You knew Huasi was back then? Huamin looked at him in surprise. Of course. Who else do you think I was talking about? No wonder I felt like someone was following me. It seems like I was targeted a long time ago. Yeah, Huasi is so powerful now that he's back. It's not because he's smart. It's because of that bitch, Yuan Qingqing. All right, I heard that woman's boat exploded. Is she dead? Huasiqian asked. Huamin nodded. Who did it? Huasiqian asked the key question. Chapter 2024. What does that have to do with you? Liu Yan's sudden appearance made the whole thing very confusing. However, because of her special status, Huamin, Qin Shu, and Gao Ran decided to keep it secret. Therefore, even if the municipal bureau recorded a statement, no one would bring it up. They would only say that someone planted explosives on the boat. Perhaps Huasi's subordinates had betrayed him. Mian, you seem to be hiding something from me. Huasiqian smiled meaningfully. You should focus on getting better. Don't think about these useless things. You should thank the harmonious society for saving you. Okay, I won't force you if you don't want to tell me. Anyways, it's over. Huasi's problem is solved, but Shun Jiani isn't back yet. You can't let your guard down, Huasiqian reminded her. You should worry about yourself. I don't need you to worry about me. Then, Huamin turned around and walked out. Mian, Huasiqian suddenly put his mouth on hers. What? Huamin stopped at the door without looking back. Yesterday, everything I said to you, I meant it, so? Huamin turned around and looked at him. So, can you consider me no? Huasiqian, put away your thoughts. We're not even friends anymore. From now on, we can only be enemies. Take care of yourself. Then, Humin opened the door and walked out heartlessly. Huasiqian couldn't be forgiven. The main reason was that every time Huamin thought about how Mr. Qin pushed her, she would feel extremely sad. It was all because of that psycho Huasiqian. Therefore, she couldn't be soft-hearted anymore. That person actually hoped that she would give him a chance and hope. How shameless. Huamin breathed a sigh of relief. Then, he went to the head nurse's office, picked up Tian, and drove home. When she reached home, she realized that the twins were not home yet. She called Su Yu and found out that Qin Ning had arrived and they were having dinner. Uncle Li, prepare some food for the baby. She's my friend's child and will be staying with us for a few days. Let her stay in the same room as Pudding and the others. There's a spare bed at home. Bring one over. Okay, a young lady. Inside the Japanese restaurant, Su Yu was eating with the twins and Qin Ning when he suddenly saw Jian Tong and her best friend walk in. Darling, you're here too? Jian Tong saw Su Yu and walked over to greet Su Yu. Moreover, he actually used the word dear, which gave people goosebumps. The babies are back. Seeing the twins, Jian Tong pretended to be happy. I'm sorry, Miss Jian. We don't know you that well. Don't always come up to us. It's annoying. Little Bean didn't give her face at all. Pudding, Annie will be sad if you say that. Auntie, I'm Little Bean. Jian Tong, this is... Qin Ning didn't know about the Chinese entertainment industry, so she didn't know that Jian Tong was a celebrity. Auntie, she's an actress under Handsome Sue's company. She's an actress, understand? Qin Ning, Jian Tong, Little Bean, how can you talk to Annie Jian Tong like that? Mommy told us to be polite. Pudding scolded her sister. Then, she said to Qin Ning, Annie, you don't have to listen to Little Bean. Annie Jian Tong is an actress. She's just an actress who stars in small movies and family dramas. After hearing Pudding's introduction, Qin Ning felt that Little Bean was better. Jian Tong's face immediately darkened. Chapter 2025. Honey. Jian Tong looked at Su Yu with tears in her eyes, hoping that her boss would take pity on her and stand up for her. Unexpectedly, before Su Yu could say anything, Pudding immediately said, Auntie Jian, you're not young anymore and you're a public figure. Is it really okay for you to call your boss darling every time you speak? Even if you're a bitch, you shouldn't be so shameless. Women need to know how to respect themselves. Jian Tong. Qin Ning was confused, but she understood that her two nieces didn't like this woman named Jian Tong. Ahem. Jian Tong, why don't you go eat first? We'll talk about it at the company. Su, Auntie Jian, don't pester him. Men hate women who pester them. Just leave. We still have to eat, Little Bean said sarcastically. Jian Tong slowly became angry and tried to hold back her laughter. Okay, you guys eat. I'll go now. The moment she turned around, Jian Tong's face turned cold. You two little bastards. Just you wait. I'll take care of you when I have the chance. Jian Tong gritted her teeth. After Jian Tong left, Qin Ning asked tentatively, was that your girlfriend? Su Yu was about to speak when Pudding and Little Bean answered in unison, no. Su Yu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Little ancestors, she asked me, not you guys. The answer is the same no matter who you ask. How could a scheming bitch like her be Handsome Sue's girlfriend? Handsome Sue wouldn't be so tasteless, Little Bean said. Pudding sipped her juice and glanced at Su Yu's face. Yeah, if I were a man, I wouldn't even want a woman like Jian Tong. She's dirty and disgusting. Su Yu, is she as bad as you say? Did you two bully her? Qin Ning asked with a smile. We're not that bored. Why would we bully a girl? We only know how to expose all kinds of bitches. Pudding explained. All right, let's not talk about this anymore. Next topic. Su Yu was really going to lose to the two of them. However, due to the fact that he doted on the two of them, he didn't think it was a good thing to make things difficult for Jian Tong. On the other side, Jian Tong and her daughter were sitting in a small private room. They were in a bad mood. Tong Tong, what's wrong? You look so sullen. Why didn't these two little things stay in the U.S.? Why did they come back? Seriously, I'm so frustrated. Jian Tong gritted her teeth. You mean, The two by President Su's side? Her best friend asked. Jian Tong nodded with an unsightly expression. These two kids have a lot of background. You know that President Su likes their mommy, so he loves them as well. I heard that not only President Su, but even his family likes them very much. They're quite cute. What's so cute about them? They're not cute at all. They don't look like 3-year-old kids at all. Their words are so vicious. As long as they're here, President Su and I can't be together. Didn't you see that they brought a woman with them? I think they're purposely finding a woman for President Su. No, I have to think of a way. I can't just sit here and do nothing. Jian Tong felt a sense of crisis. She finally had the chance to create a scandal with Su Yu, but she didn't want Su Yu to hurt her. Whether it was true or not, the outside world would treat it as if it were true. If the twins ruined it, all her years of hard work would go down the drain. Therefore, she took this matter very seriously. What do you want to do? Her best friend looked at Jian Tong carefully. I have to think of a way to make those two little brats disappear. Jian Tong said viciously. Chapter 2026. How can I do that? You're crazy. I'm not crazy. I just think that they're an eyesore. They keep ruining my plans. Jian Tong lost her appetite at the thought of the twins. On the other hand, after the twins finished eating, Su Yu drove them back to South Hill Manor. When they got into the car, pushed Qin Ning into the passenger seat. It made Qin Ning feel very awkward. Su Yu drove them to the door and left immediately because he had something to do. After they got out of the car, Pudding asked Qin Ning, Auntie, is handsome Su a good person? He's okay. I don't know much about him. It's okay. You can get to know him better, Pudding interrupted. Come on, little ancestors, I came back to see you guys. I was so worried about you guys. Don't joke with me. I have to go see my sister-in-law. Then, Qin Ning strode inside, anxious to see Huamin. When Qin Chu came home from work, the whole family was chatting. Qin Ning's arrival made the family even livelier. Hui Yinyan's daughter, Tian Tian, was staying with them for the time being. The twins were very happy because they had a new friend. The next morning, after Qin Chu went to work, Huamin drove out as well. Inside a prison in North Hill Manor, through Gao Ran's contact, Huamin went to see Huasi alone. You have less than 15 minutes to talk. Make good use of the time, the prison guard reminded him. Huamin nodded. When Huasi was brought out, his head was already shaved. He was wearing prison clothes and looked haggard. When he looked up and saw Huamin, he was surprised. He didn't expect Huamin to come see him. After they sat down, they picked up the phone through the glass. You're not dead? So, you sacrificed your daughter? Huasi smiled viciously. He was very proud of the letter bomb he planted. I'm sorry to disappoint you. My daughter and I are still alive. We're not dead. That's impossible. Huamin looked at Huasi's calm face in disbelief. I have no reason to lie to you. You won't be able to deactivate that bomb in a short period of time. It's impossible that it didn't explode. Someone has to die. Maybe I'm just too lucky. Our bomb was successfully defused. Oh no, it should be decoded successfully. Who helped you? I don't believe it. Huasi was visibly agitated. This is also a serious problem that I want to talk to you about. Huasi Qian, you keep saying that you hate me, saying that I hurt you, hurt your family. But do you know that I'm not related to Huamin at all? We're not related by blood, because I'm not Hua Zhenghai's daughter. That's impossible. Huasi seemed to think that Huamin was making up stories. Believe it or not, I'm just stating the truth. I did see Hua Zhenghai before he died, but I didn't kill him. I don't know how he died, but I didn't destroy your family. You treated me as your enemy and almost killed my daughter and I, so you had to pay the price. Also, do you know what happened to the woman you loved, Ruan Qingqing? What happened to Qingqing? Huasi seemed very nervous. You might not know this, but she was using you from the beginning. The boat and the people she prepared were all arranged by herself. She lied to you about going to another country to coax you, but she still wanted to go back to Vietnam. I think she and your mafia boss set up a trap to take advantage of your hatred to cheat money. Even if you don't get caught for helping you, you might get killed if you go back. So, that woman, she didn't like you at all. She bought you just to use you. Nonsense, I don't believe it. I don't believe that Ching Ching is that kind of person. Huisin roared. Prisoner, watch your emotions, the prison guard warned. Chapter 2027. It's okay if you don't believe me, but it doesn't matter now because Ruan Qingqing is dead. Dead? No, that's impossible. Qingqing is so smart. How could she die? Perhaps this is what they call evildoers are doomed to destruction. When Ruan Qingqing was escaping, the boat exploded. Her body is gone. All the money she cared about turned into ashes. This time, she can't go back to Vietnam, and you can't go back either. Did you know that? Even though your crimes aren't enough to warrant the death penalty, you will at least be sentenced to 20 years. You will spend the rest of your life in prison. When you come out, you will be an old man with one foot in the grave. Huisi, take a good look at yourself. How stupid are you? Everyone says that Huisi Qian is scolding you, but you are such a disappointment. You don't have to care about what I do. Huisi was agitated. You think too much. As my enemy, do you think I would care about you? I want you to die right now. I'm just here to check on Yin Yin. After all, you are one of the few family members she has. Yin Yin used to be ridiculous, but after what happened in the past few years, she has changed. She has calmed down and will start a new life. As for you, you won't have a chance. Take care of yourself. After speaking, Huamin got up to leave. Wait. Huamin, Huisi suddenly shouted. What is it? Who solved the mother-son bomb? Huisi always thought that this bomb was the most perfect and insane design. He even thought that Huamin loved his children so much that he would sacrifice himself for them. He didn't think that such a difficult bomb would be solved by someone else. He simply couldn't accept it. The person who developed it. After saying these words, Huamin walked away without looking back. Huisi was left standing there in a daze. He seemed to be thinking about the meaning behind Huamin's words. After leaving prison, Huamin drove to Southside. He had a meeting with President Wu and a few other neurosurgeons to prepare for Dahai's mother's surgery. After a whole day, Huamin was exhausted. When they got home, Qin Shu was already home. Everyone was in the living room waiting for Huamin to come back for dinner. Mommy's back. Little Bean stood up. Sis-in-law, you don't have to work anymore. Why are you still so busy? Qin smiled. There are a lot of messy things. Honey, have you settled things at Southside? Qin Shu was more concerned about when his wife would go back to become a doctor. It's done. President Wu said that I can go to work at any time. I'll perform the surgery for Dahai's mother tomorrow. Mommy, you're amazing. Pudding gave her a thumbs up. Aren't you embarrassed to say that? You were the one who promised her. Huamin laughed. I was just trying to save my own life. You have to give her daughter a thumbs up, okay? Pudding said proudly. Yes, 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 you're the best. All right, ancestor, let's go eat. I'm starving. When Huamin said that he was hungry, Uncle Li immediately told the kitchen to prepare dinner. The whole family gathered around. The twins held Tiantian's hand, and the three of them sat next to each other lovingly. Just then, Qin Chu received a phone call. It was from Gao Ran. On the phone, Gao Ran told Qin Chu a shocking piece of news. When Qin Chu heard it, his expression changed slightly. Then, he glanced at Huamin, who wasn't far away. What happened, honey? Huamin asked anxiously. Chapter 2028. Huisi. Something happened to him. Qin Chu replied faintly. What happened? Huamin froze. Huisi is dead. Dead? How'd he die? Huamin was dumbfounded. Suicide? The news just came from prison. Mian, did you tell him something? I told him that Yuan Qingqing was dead. He must have lost all hope, Huamin said quietly. I see. It's good that he's dead. Actually, I thought about it. Even if Huisi Qian didn't die, I wouldn't let him go. He almost killed you and Little Bean. Even if I let him go, Huisi Qian wouldn't let him go. So, Mian, you don't have to feel guilty. Mian shook her head. No, honey, I don't feel guilty, and I don't feel guilty at all. Huisi is a crazy bastard. I don't feel sorry for him. It's good that he's dead. Otherwise, Huisi Qian wouldn't have let him go. Plus, he would have died a much more tragic death. I just feel bad for Yin Yin. She doesn't have many family members left in her life. I wonder if Shunjiani is still causing trouble in Vietnam, or if she'll come back and seek revenge after hearing that her son is dead. Huamin said worriedly, I don't think she'll come back for revenge. Didn't Lu Yin say that she was going to get rid of the Vietnamese gang? I don't think they'll have a chance to come back for revenge. Lu Yin is furious after what happened to you and Little Bean. If she wasn't in the Golden Triangle right now, she would have blown them up. Qin Chu knew Lu Yan's hot temper too well. Huamin's face warmed up at the mention of his sister. Yin has a hot temper. She's not like me at all, but it's good. With her personality, she won't be bullied. Plus, it feels good to be protected by my sister. Huamin smiled happily. It's more than just protection. I think she's overbearing. Qin Chu smiled. Honey, do you think Yin is in danger in the Golden Triangle? I'm so worried about her. Huamin couldn't get in touch with Lu Yin. Unless Lu Yin looked for her, she had no way of contacting her. Ever since they parted yesterday, Lu Yin jumped out of the second-floor window and went to the top of the mountain. Huamian was really worried. Although she knew that her sister was very powerful, she still didn't feel confident. Don't worry, honey. You should be worried. You have to pray that your sister doesn't destroy their home. Huamin, she Huamian's shoulders comfort. No. Huamian was not traumatized by Huasi's death. In fact, she was quite relieved. Everyone had to be responsible for their own mistakes, and Huasi was no exception. Was. After all, Huyen Yin said she was going to visit Huasi after she got out of the hospital. In fact, even if Huamian didn't tell him that, he would be sentenced to life imprisonment or more than 30 years in prison. Huasi wouldn't be able to take it. Plus, Huasi Qian would do something to the prison. Huasi would be in a worse state than he was now. Huamian's choice to die was a wise choice. It was a relief. After dinner, Yang Mei Erong took the kids upstairs to play. Tian Tian was a little reserved and didn't like to talk. Huamian was glad that the twins were having so much fun and had already treated this place as their home. Qin Shu went back to the study and began to discuss the work at the headquarters with Qin Ning. The siblings even had some arguments. Huamin and Jixin sat on the sofa and chatted. Jixin picked up an orange, opened it, and handed it to Huamin. Sis, have an orange. Hey, no one is unaccountably nice. What's going on? Do you need something from me? Huamin smiled wickedly. Chapter 2029. Is your brother like that in your eyes? I'm a super nice guy who loves my sister, Jixin retorted. Fine, if you're not going to tell me, then I'm going upstairs to sleep. Huamin pretended to get up and leave. Hey sis, don't. I have something to do. Huamin tried to sound Jixin out, and Jixin immediately lost his cool. I knew you had something to say. Tell me. Huamin put a small piece of orange in his mouth and chewed. Then, he crossed his legs and looked at Jixin. He could guess what he was going to say. After all, he was his little brother, so he knew him well. Sis, I'm going to tell you, but don't laugh at me. Let's talk first. Jixin seemed to be a little conflicted. Hurry up and say it. Cut the crap. I hate it when guys talk nonsense. Huamian was getting impatient. She didn't want Jixin to be indecisive like a woman. He had to be as decisive as Mr. Qin. Even if he couldn't, he had to be as decisive and wise as Su Yu and Wei Liao. Sis, you know that I like Bella, right? Yeah. Is there a problem? Huamin asked. Recently, I've been troubled. I've been thinking about how to confess to her properly, the kind that can make her officially date me. Damn it, you haven't done it yet? It's been so long. Jixin, can you do it or not? I have to take it slow. I don't want to scare her away too quickly. Jixin looked wronged. Don't tell people that you're my little brother. You're so slow when it comes to picking up girls. I'm so mad at you. Huamin was speechless. Sis, don't just stand there and talk, okay? You know better than me what kind of person Bella is. She's a strong woman. Her personality is almost as good as yours. How can I be like a little girl? Plus, if we can't get her and get rejected, it'll be so awkward. Jixin rolled his eyes at his sister. I don't think so. From what I know about Bella, I think she prefers a domineering man, not a submissive little brother like you. So, Jixin, if you really want to pursue Bella, you have to show your power. What do you mean? Jixin put a slice of orange into his mouth and looked at his sister adorably. If you like her, then go get her, Huamin said decisively. And then, Jixin quietly waited for her to continue. If it doesn't work, I'll drug him. Huamin's words almost made Jixin choke on the orange in his mouth. Then he coughed violently. Cough, cough, cough. Are you okay? Is there a need for such a big reaction? Huamin disagreed. If you like him, then go get him. If you don't like him, then drug him. You really are my sister. Jixin wanted to cry, but had no tears. All right, I won't tease you anymore. But my words do make sense. Which part makes sense? Drug him? Jixin asked. Of course not. Are you an idiot? What I mean is, if you want to pursue Bella, then be more domineering and aggressive. Take the initiative. After all, you have to take the initiative to pursue a girl. Even if you don't succeed, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. You're an adult. Who cares about that in the workplace? Okay, I'll choose an auspicious day, and then I'll confess to Bella. Jixin finally made up his mind. Sis, you and brother-in-law have to support me. I'm your only little brother. Chapter 2030. Ow! Huamin smiled. I think you can ask my brother-in-law to give me and Bella a chance to go on a business trip alone. That would be perfect, Jixin said with a cheeky smile. Why don't you go to heaven? A business trip alone? Why don't you just ask your brother-in-law to give you a marriage? Huamin glared at him. If my brother-in-law agrees, then of course I'm willing. Don't be so shameless. Go to bed. Huamin smiled as he pinched Jixin's nose. Then he put on his slippers and went upstairs. Before Huamin went back to his bedroom, he went to the twins' room to take a look. They were still playing with blocks and dolls on the floor. Their mother was also patiently knitting a sweater. He looked at the three children. Tian, are you sleepy? If you're tired, then go to bed early. Huamin looked at Hua Yinyin's daughter gently. Annie, I'm not sleepy. I want to play a little longer, Tian said softly. Okay, don't stay up too late. You have to go to dance class with your sister tomorrow. Andy prepared a beautiful dress for you. Thank you, Andy. Tian was very polite. Mommy, can you stop wasting time? You're not even 30 yet. Don't give me the impression that you're going through menopause. Pudding began to complain. Huamin was speechless. Mommy, good night. Bye, go to bed early. Otherwise, you won't be pretty if you have crow's feet. If you're not pretty, Daddy won't love you anymore. If he doesn't love you, he won't be able to have a little brother with you. Little Bean was much more vicious than Pudding. Huamin's face turned red, and he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. You too, don't be so rude. Especially you, Little Bean. If I hear you say such filthy things again, Mommy won't forgive you. Okay. I'm just joking with you. Can you take a joke? Little Bean immediately found a way out for herself. In the study, Qin Shu and Qin Ning went into workaholic mode. The two of them first had a video conference with Qin Ning's father, who was at the headquarters in the United States. They made some big decisions. After that, Qin Shu took out the company's latest reform plan and discussed it with Qin Ning. By the time he was done, it was already past 11 o'clock at night. All right, it's about time. Let's call it a day. You should go get some rest. Qin Shu glanced at his sister. Big brother, you're such a workaholic. I came here to see my niece in private vacation mode, but you dragged me into work mode and took up my private time. Boo-hoo, I have a hard life. Come on, you think I don't know you. You're the best at finding joy in your work. You should thank me for giving you a chance to perform. Qin Shu joked with her on purpose. Ayo, not bad. Brother, you actually have a sense of humor now. Looks like sister-in-law taught you well. Don't talk nonsense. I've always been the one teaching your sister-in-law. How could she teach me? Qin Shu smirked. Just then, Qin Ning suddenly thought of something. She asked tentatively, Big brother, are you close with Suyu? Why did you suddenly bring him up? Qin Shu always had an indescribable feeling about Suyu. He wasn't a friend, but he wasn't an enemy either. It's all because of your two daughters. They keep talking about Suyu this and Suyu that. So I'm curious, what kind of man is he? Suyu, I don't think he's suitable for you. Qin Chu slowly said after thinking for a long time. For some reason, Qin Ning was quite disappointed when she heard this. She didn't want to give up and asked, "Big brother, why do you say that? How do you know we're not suitable?" Chapter 2031. Suyu, I won't comment too much on him, and you shouldn't be too interested in him. That's all. Qin Shu didn't seem to want to say more, but the more he didn't, the more interested Qin Ning became. After the siblings finished talking about work, they went back to their respective rooms. When Qin Chu came back, Huamin was already lying in bed. Winters in the north were especially long, and there would be about 4 months of extremely cold weather every year. The good thing was that there was heat in the room, and it was like spring all year round. This was the time when Huamin felt like she was bursting with happiness. She was curled up in her blanket, reading a pathology book. Ever since she resigned from GK, she felt much more relaxed. Qin Shu was very supportive of her going back to being a doctor. It was the happiest thing for her in a while. "Honey, what are you reading? You look so serious." After taking a shower, Qin Shu walked over and hugged Huamin from behind. "I'm studying. I haven't been back to Southside in a long time. It's been more than 4 years. Although President Wu and everyone else trust me, I can't let my guard down. That's right, study hard. Good luck." Qin Shu smiled and stroked her long hair. Then, he lay down next to Huamin. The two of them were tightly pressed against each other. "How are things on your end? Are you done?" Huamin put down her book and asked. "Yeah, almost. With Ning Ning here, it's a lot easier for me. I just don't know if the headquarters will approve of the reforms here." Qin Shu pondered. "Take it slow. The reforms can't be done in a day or two. I understand that you're anxious to keep up with the times and integrate with the world. But our company has such a large team, it can't be done in a day. It needs a lot of time." "Yes, honey, you're always right." Qin Shu chuckled. "Huh, why do you sound like you're an incapable ruler? Don't think that I'm always right. Do you think I'm right?" You're right. Mr. Qin nodded. "So obedient? Something's not right." Huamin felt that something was off when he saw Mr. Qin being so easygoing. "Honey, you're thinking too much. Your husband has always been so obedient, okay? Then let's go to bed. You have an early meeting tomorrow morning." With that, Huamin reached out to turn off the lights. However, Qin Shu grabbed her hand and flipped her over, pressing her on top of him. "What are you doing?" Huamin jumped in fright. He wasn't mentally prepared, so, "Honey, I'm too cold," Qin Shu said seriously. So, Huamin had a vague feeling that the next sentence wouldn't be anything good. As expected. "So, I want to do some warm-up exercises with you to keep warm." "You're shameless." Huamian blushed at his teasing. Qin Chu laughed arrogantly. Then, he bent down and nibbled on her red, pouty lips. The rarest thing about Huamin was that whenever she was with Qin Shu, she would always be shy like a young girl. Therefore, Qin Shu would occasionally tease her about this matter, making the two of them feel like they had been in love for the first time many years ago. Mr. Qin's stamina was great, his waist was strong, and he had great energy. Therefore, when Huamin woke up the next morning, he almost fell to the ground. "Fuck, my legs are so weak," Huamian mumbled. "Honey, what are you mumbling to yourself about?" Mr. Qin turned over and looked at Huamin with sleepy eyes. Chapter 2032. It's fine. Honey, you can sleep a little longer. I'll go downstairs and make breakfast for everyone. Perhaps it was because this was the first time in 4 years that Huamin was reporting to Southside. So, she was very excited. She even got up before 6 o'clock and volunteered to prepare breakfast for everyone. The maids in the kitchen were all shocked. They were so scared that they tried to persuade her. "A young lady, we can do it. Just tell us what you want to eat." "Yeah. A young lady, we know how to make both Chinese and Western food. Please don't come in. The kitchen is so cold. I don't want you to catch a cold. Mr. Qin will be worried about you. Hurry up and go upstairs." Even Uncle Li came over to persuade her. "A young lady, just leave it to them. You still have to go to work today. Don't work too hard." "Uncle Li, it's not hard. I just can't sleep, and I'm so happy. I want to make breakfast for my husband and children. Don't be nervous, really." Huamin was speechless when she saw how nervous everyone was. She wasn't a rich girl who didn't know how to do anything. She came from an ordinary family. Although her cooking wasn't particularly delicious, it was still acceptable. She had cooked for Mr. Chin before. Back then, they had just gotten married and were living in Imperial Park. The two of them were still living in a sweet and cozy world. However, as their careers got busier and busier, they were both busy with their own things and rarely had the chance to cook. Hearing Huamian's words, the others didn't insist. The maids helped Huamian, and she was very busy. When the twins and Qin Chu woke up, Huamian had already prepared a sumptuous breakfast. When Qin Ning came downstairs, she was shocked. "Sis-in-law, I heard you made all this." "Yeah, what do you think? Do you have an appetite?" Huamian asked proudly with her hands on her hips. "Amazing. Damn, you're so talented. You even know how to steam buns." Qin Ning was full of admiration as she looked at the exquisite soup dumplings. "Did Big Sis make breakfast? That's unbelievable." Jixin scratched the back of his head. "So, Mommy, is it an important day today?" Pudding looked at the breakfast on the table and then looked at her mother. Little Bean greedily took a red bean pie and took a bite. "It tastes really good. Mommy, you're in such a good mood today. Can I make a request?" Little Bean took the opportunity to extort. "Tell me about it. Can I eat a little bit more than every day? After all, I made it myself." Little Bean looked at her mother pitifully. Because she always ate too much, Huamian forbade her to look at him when they were eating. She couldn't eat too much. If she ate a little, she wouldn't be allowed to continue eating the main dishes. She could only drink soup for the rest. "Sure." Huamian smiled at Little Bean and gave her an exception. Qin Chu was the last to go downstairs for breakfast. When he came down, he was already dressed in his suit. Because he was too good-looking, he looked handsome no matter what he wore. "Brother, look at how virtuous your wife is. She made so much delicious food. Thank you for your hard work," Qin Ning said. Qin Chu looked at the breakfast and then looked at Huamian. "Honey, did you make all of this?" Please praise me." Huamian walked over and leaned on Qin Chu's chest like a little bird. "Tonight, I'll serve you even harder." Qin Chu whispered into Huamian's ear. Qin Ning immediately blushed. "Huh? Mommy's blushing. Did Daddy say something embarrassing?" Little Bean began to gossip. Chapter 2033. Let's eat. Huamian coughed awkwardly and went back to the table with Qin Chu. After breakfast, Qin Chu went to the company and Huamian went to Southside. Little Bean and Tian were playing with toys at home, while Pudding looked out the window with a lot on her mind. "What's wrong? What's on your mind?" Qin Ning walked over. "Andy, I want to go to the hospital to see the big blockhead." Qin Ning immediately knew who Pudding was talking about because she had told her about the incident earlier. "No problem. I'll drive you there." "Really?" Pudding was surprised. "Of course. Let's go. I'm not very familiar with this place yet." "Okay, I'll go change." After saying that, Pudding ran upstairs and changed into a white long-sleeved lace princess dress with a red fur vest. She was wearing a red beret and looked very pretty. "Little Bean, I'm going to the hospital to see the big blockhead. Do you want to come?" Pudding asked. "I'm not going. I'll stay at home and play with Tian. You go and say hi for me," Little Bean said like an adult. "Okay. When we come back in the afternoon, I'll ask Annie to pick you up. I'm going to have afternoon tea with Handsome Sue." "Awesome. No problem. I'll wait for you guys at home." "You guys be careful," Little Bean said and continued playing with Tian. After the sisters reached an agreement, Pudding held Annie's hand and walked out. Qin Ning picked a white Porsche 918 from the underground garage of South Hill Manor. Then, she took Pudding to the first hospital. Inside the room, the nurse was wiping Dahai's face. He was seriously injured and couldn't take care of himself, so he was in a lot of pain. He looked a lot more haggard. "Hey, big blockhead." Pudding walked over and greeted him. "Little Pudding, you're here." The man smiled honestly. "How are you feeling today? Does it still hurt?" Pudding asked in a cute voice. "No, I'm a big man. What's there to be afraid of? You think too much of me." Dahai laughed. "Mommy said, your injuries aren't light. You even injured your internal organs. You have to rest well." "I know. Your mommy gave me a lot of money. She even said that she would do surgery for my mom. Thank you. Don't worry. My mommy is a woman of her word. She's going to work at Southside today, and she'll probably have the surgery today. By the time you recover, your mom will probably have recovered as well. Yes, yes. This is the happiest thing in my life. Dahai was a little touched. He raised his hand to wipe his tears. I told you I wasn't lying. I did what I promised you, Pudding said proudly. Yes, I believe you too. That's why I'm where I am today. Dahai still felt that his kindness was being rewarded. Do you know what happened to those bad guys? Pudding stood by the bed and asked. Dahai shook his head. The bad guys who watched over us with you were all sentenced to more than 20 years. I heard that the leader of the bad guys, the guy named C, died in prison. His partner, the Vietnamese woman, was also killed by the explosion. Evil deeds are doomed to destruction. If you do too many bad things, you'll be punished by the heavens. Dahai, remember, no matter how poor you are, you can't steal, rob, or do bad things. You have to have a backbone, okay? Pudding actually started lecturing him. Qi Ning couldn't help but laugh when she heard this. Her niece had turned into Tang Sanzang, and no one could stop her. Chapter 2034. The strangest thing was that the man actually nodded his head as if he was possessed by gods and demons. He looked as if he was obedient. I'll remember that, little one. You're right. Although I don't really understand what you meant by doing evil, I know you're telling me not to do bad things and to be a good person. Good things will come to me in the future. You're a promising child. I'll come visit you when I have time. Dahai, thank you for saving my sister and me. You'll have a better life in the future. Take care of yourself. Pudding comforted him like an adult before leaving a room. Pudding, you're too mature. I'm not used to it. Haha, I feel like you know everything. Qi Ning laughed. I know everything, Pudding said proudly. Okay, I know. Little princess, you're the best and smartest. So what are we going to do now? Qi Ning looked at her niece. Pudding looked at her watch. I asked Handsome Sue out for afternoon tea, but it's still early. Do you want to go bowling? Bowling? You know how to? Qi Ning was surprised. Don't be surprised. There's nothing I can't do. Only things you can't think of. Pudding smiled mysteriously. Then it's decided. Let's go. Annie will take you. Qi Ning and Pudding hit it off. After leaving the hospital, they went directly to a high-end indoor sports club. The aunt and niece played bowling. On the other hand, Huamin went to work at Southside for the first time. At the Southside staff meeting, President Wu announced that Huamin would continue to be the chief neurologist. At the same time, she would also be the vice director of Southside Recuperation Center. Now, let's have Dr. Hu say a few words. Welcome. President Wu was in a good mood and started clapping. The crowd burst into thunderous applause. Although it had been 4 years, Huamin's name still carried a lot of weight at Southside. As Huamin's assistant, Chun Jie's eyes were filled with tears. She couldn't help but secretly send a video to Ni Yang. Look at how amazing our sister is. Chun Jie typed to Ni Yang. Sister Mian is awesome. Hurry up and take more videos. I want to see how she looks when she's a doctor again. Ni Yang was doing his makeup in the dressing room when he saw the video. He was a little excited. Huamin was flattered by President Wu's speech. He stood up and clasped his hands together. Thank you for your trust and support from all my colleagues. I really like Southside. When I was young, my dream was to be an outstanding doctor. I didn't go against my heart, my professional ethics, or my personal integrity. I just wanted to do my job well and help the patients around me recover to a healthy state because of me. After 4 years, I didn't even dare to imagine that I would be able to return to this position. I just want to thank you, Mr. Director, and all the teachers for your trust in me. I'll work harder in the future. Thank you. Huamian didn't say too many flowery words, nor did she try to be polite. She spoke from the bottom of her heart. She was so excited that tears welled up in her eyes. She loved this place so much, she had dreamt so many times that she would come back to work here. She liked it when people called her Dr. Hua. She was always proud of being a doctor. From this moment on, her resume at Southside had to be rewritten. Huamin, female, 28 years old, was the youngest chief neurologist in the country and an outstanding doctor who had won international awards. Chapter 2035. She was also the youngest vice director in the country. Due to her intelligence and outstanding medical skills, she was promoted again and again. Now, even though she was promoted to vice director, no one would think that she used her connections to get in. In order to become a doctor, she even resigned from her position as GK's president. How could someone like her care about fame and fortune? She was probably in a world that many people couldn't see through. After the morning meeting, Huamin immediately immersed himself in his work. In just one morning, he received 8 patients from the neurology department and diagnosed them, prescribed medicine, and treated them. When it was almost noon, Chun Jie walked in with a thick stack of documents. "Chief, the professors from the neurology department asked me to show you these. They said that Sun Dehai's mother's surgery will be at 3 p.m., and they want you to be there on time." "Got it. Leave the documents here. I'll read them right away." "But it's noon. It's time for lunch," Chun Jie reminded him as she looked at her watch. "Go eat. Just bring some takeout for me. I still have a lot of documents to read." Huamin found his old life again and even felt that being busy was a form of happiness. Seeing Huamin so immersed in his work, Chun Jie smiled happily. "Okay, Chief, I'll leave you to it." Then, she quietly closed the door. After Chun Jie left, Huamin was just about to continue working when her phone rang. It was a video call invitation. She looked at the caller ID, smiled, and quickly picked it up. "Hello, Mr. Qin. Dr. Hua, congratulations. It looks like I'll have to call you Director Hua from now on." Qin Shu narrowed his eyes as he looked at his wife. "You're so well informed." Huamin was proud. "Of course, it's such a big deal. How could I not know? It's all over the news. President Wu is getting old, so he's being more high profile." Huamin was speechless. "How are we going to celebrate tonight? What do you want to eat?" "I'll make a reservation," Qin Shu asked. "Not necessarily tonight. There's a surgery at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not sure what time I'll be out." Huamin seemed to be in a difficult position. "Okay, Dr. Hua, you're already so focused on your work. I wish you all the best. Take care of yourself. Remember, don't overwork yourself. Do you hear me?" Mr. Qin ordered in a domineering tone. "Respect, Lord Qin. Go ahead then. Remember to eat. I'll continue with the meeting." After Qin Shu hung up the phone and was about to organize the meeting materials, he heard Bella report, "President Qin, someone wants to see you, but he doesn't have an appointment." "Who is it?" Qin Shu raised his head. Bella hesitated for a moment before replying slowly. "It's the movie star, Miss Emma Schwartz. I don't know her." Qin Shu decisively refused. "But Miss Mo said that she had something important to discuss with you. She even said that it was a private matter." "So, private matter?" Qin Shu furrowed his brows slightly and put down the documents in his hands. "Let her in." Qin Shu wasn't familiar with Mo Shui, but he knew about her relationship with Hua Xiqian. Therefore, he roughly knew what she wanted to discuss with him. Therefore, he decided to let her in. Mo Shui wore 7-inch crystal heels and a bareback dark blue gown. She looked sexy and luxurious. She looked a lot better than before. She didn't look as haggard as she did a while ago. It was obvious that she wasn't affected by the negative news anymore. "It's so hard to see President Qin." Haha. After Mo Shui walked in, she sat down on the sofa. Then, she took out a cigarette from her bag. Before she could light it up, Qin Shu stopped her. "Sorry, this is a non-smoking area." "Okay." Mo Shui pouted helplessly. Then, she looked up at Qin Shu with a smile. "President Qin, I'm here today to work with you." Chapter 2036. Work together? What do you mean? Qin Shu raised his head and asked coldly. "President Qin, you're a smart person. You should know what I mean. Even though I'm an artist, your company is no longer in the entertainment industry. So, of course, we can't work together," Mo Shui explained with a smile. "Even if you're in the entertainment industry, we won't work together. I won't give an employee who betrayed me a second chance to betray me. Qin Shu said word for word. Mo Shui. Er's expression changed slightly. She knew what Qin Shu meant. Not only did Mo Shui jump ship, but she also took many other artists with her. I didn't think President Qin would hold a grudge. This has nothing to do with holding a grudge. I'm just stating facts. I believe that I'm not the only one. No boss would accept an employee who repeatedly betrays them. So, I'm not interested in working with you. My time is precious. Ms. Mo, please leave. It was obvious that Qin Shu had no interest in talking to Mo Shui anymore. This woman's sarcastic tone really made people feel uncomfortable. Huh? President Qin, calm down. I haven't said anything yet. No matter what you say, I'm not interested. Qin Shu was still as cold as ever as he cut off Mo Shui's words. What if I say that I can work with you against Huasiqian? You know, I've been by his side for many years. I know how he does things, and I know a lot of his secrets. I also know that President Qin hates Huasiqian the most. So, can we work together to get rid of him? He's still injured and hasn't recovered yet. This is the perfect opportunity. What do you think? Mo Shui stated her goal in one breath. Qin Shu didn't seem surprised at all. Perhaps he already thought of this when Mo Shui stepped through the door. I'm sorry, but I'm not interested in the personal grudges between Miss Mo and Huasiqian. Between me and Huasiqian, it's not something that can be explained with just a simple word. I don't need a woman who's not related to me to help me. Qin Shu refused without hesitation. Qin Shu, are you that confident in dealing with Huasiqian? You have no idea how terrifying he is. I've already experienced how terrifying he can be. There's no need for Miss Mo to remind me. Ha! I can guarantee that you don't know. You don't even know that he has a scary side to him. Mo Shui paused. How is he? Qin Shu raised his head and asked. Forget it. Since you don't want to cooperate with me, I won't say too much. Anyway, you'll definitely regret being so arrogant. But even if you don't cooperate with me, I can still slowly deal with him. Qin Shu's refusal disappointed Mo Shui. She stood up angrily, grabbed her bag, and walked out the door. Qin Shu didn't think much of it and continued to work. He didn't want to work with Su Yu in the first place, and now he definitely wouldn't work with a cunning woman. He had to deal with Huasiqian himself. He had to take revenge with his own hands. Inside the high-end sports hall, Pudding was so good at bowling that a lot of people came to watch. Qining twisted open a bottle of water and drank it. She was a little proud of her niece's performance. Oh my God, this kid is a genius. How old is she? Someone asked. She's only 3 years old. Qining replied proudly. Oh my God, she's only 3 years old. Is she really your daughter? Someone asked Qining. She was so angry that she almost spat out her water. Chapter 2037. How was that possible? I'm not married yet. She's my niece, okay? Qining rolled her eyes at her older brother. Not far away, Tang Chuan, who hadn't been seen in a long time, walked in with a young model with a small waist and big breasts. Tang Chuan was also a sports enthusiast. He liked to play basketball and golf. When the weather was bad, he would also come indoors to play badminton, table tennis, and bowling. During the marriage alliance, Tang Chuan stubbornly endured it. Seeing that he was stubborn, his family began to give up on him. Tang Chuan continued to spend his days flirting with girls and indulging in a life of luxury. What's going on? There are so many people here. Is there a fight? As soon as Tang Chuan walked in, he saw a group of people gathered together. No, young Master Tang. President Qin's youngest daughter is here. She's bowling really well, a male manager said carefully. President Qin's youngest daughter? Could they be twins? Tang Chuan had gone on a trip with a group of beauties around the world with a few super-rich second-generation heirs. They had been to 17 countries and traveled for many days. They had just returned to Sea City less than 2 days ago. He didn't know that the twins were kidnapped, so when he heard that the twins might be here, he was quite happy. Yes, they are twins, but only one came today. Only one? Let me see. Is it Pudding or Little Bean? Tang Chuan gossiped as he walked over with his female companion. Pudding had just finished throwing the last ball in her hand. It was beautiful. Applause sounded from all around. Qi Ning squatted down and wiped the sweat off Pudding's forehead with a tissue. Then, she opened a bottle of mineral water and fed it to Pudding. "Thank you, Auntie." Pudding reached out her chubby little hand and pinched Qi Ning's face. Tang Chuan pushed through the crowd and walked in. Before he could say anything, he froze. This was because he saw a beautiful woman in a pink sports t-shirt and black sweatpants. She was squatting on the ground and feeding Pudding water. Her body was perfect with big breasts and a small waist. Most importantly, her face was beautiful. She was so beautiful that she only had light makeup on her face. When she smiled, her eyes turned into crescents and the corners of her mouth turned sweet. Although he only saw the side of his face, Tang Chuan's heart skipped a beat. Isn't this Uncle Tang? Hi, long time no see." Pudding turned her head to look at Tang Chuan and greeted him with a smile. Hearing Pudding's greeting, Qi Ning turned her head and glanced at him. She didn't recognize him, so she turned back. For the first time, Tang Chuan realized that he was so nervous that he couldn't even speak properly. "What? Is it because we haven't seen each other for so long that you can't even speak properly?" Pudding laughed. "You're so eloquent. You must be Pudding." Tang Chuan came to his senses and walked over with a smile. "Of course," Pudding said proudly. "Where's Little Bean? Why didn't she come out to play with you?" Tang Chuan was puzzled. "She's at home. There are guests at home, and you know that my sister doesn't like to exercise." You're right. "Hey, Pudding, who's this little beauty? Introduce her." Tang Chuan's eyes never left Qi Ning as he spoke. Qi Ning didn't care. She kept her head down and wiped the sweat off her hands with a tissue. "My aunt, Qi Ning." "Your aunt? You have an aunt? How come I didn't know?" Tang Chuan's interest was piqued when he heard that Qi Ning was Qin Chu's sister. "There are a lot of things you don't know. You're not as close to us as Handsome Sue is," Pudding said proudly. Okay. But speaking of which, is everyone in the Qin family this good-looking?" Tang Chuan was definitely a rich young master who had seen all kinds of beauties since he was young. But he had to admit that he was still shocked when he first saw Qi Ning. There was no need to say much about Qi Ning's delicate features, but her unique temperament made it easy for people to be mesmerized. "Uncle Tang, you're so direct with your compliments. Don't tell me you like my aunt." Pudding stared at Tang Chuan and asked directly. Chapter 2038. Ahem. Tang Chuan coughed violently. "Pudding, don't talk nonsense." Qi Ning pinched her niece's cheeks in embarrassment. "I'm serious, Annie. Look at Uncle Tang. He's handsome and rich, but he's always flirting with girls since he was young. He's an expert at flirting with girls. A naive girl like you who has no experience in love is no match for him. Let's go." Pudding pulled Qi Ning away. Tang Chuan immediately stopped them from accepting him. "Hey, Pudding, calm down. Don't be in such a hurry to leave. I understand that you don't like me, but you have to give the pretty girl next to you a chance to get to know me. My auntie doesn't need to know you because nothing will happen between you and her. There will only be accidents." Tang Chuan was speechless. Qi Ning was speechless. Plus, you have a girl next to you, and you're flirting with her. You don't have any SEI. Pudding glanced at the pretty girl next to Tang Chuan. Tang Chuan immediately lowered his head and said something to the girl. Although the girl looked reluctant, she still turned around and left. "Pudding, it's rare to see you. How about I treat you to Haagen-Dazs?" Tang Chuan smiled. "You're that generous?" Pudding looked up. "I've always been generous, so you still want to flirt with my auntie, right?" Pudding returned to the topic. Tang Chuan was about to answer. Pudding continued aggressively. "Don't tell me you're not. A man who doesn't even have the guts to tell the truth is the most useless." "Fuck, you little brat. Are you going to sue me?" "I'm not afraid of that. I'll tell you the truth." "Why?" "I just want to flirt with your auntie." Tang Chuan's words made Qi Ning speechless. Qi Ning didn't even know who this person was or where he came from. Why was he talking to Pudding about flirting with her? Qi Ning thought that this was ridiculous. "Sir, my niece was just joking. Please don't mind her," Qi Ning explained with a smile. She was embarrassed. "Beautiful lady, I'm serious. I'm not joking. I really do like you." Qi Ning, "So? Qi Ning was dumbfounded. So, I want to ask you a question. Tang Chuan looked at Qi Ning mysteriously. Ask away. Do you believe in love at first sight? Tang Chuan asked in an emotional tone. Qi Ning didn't know how to answer. Stop. Let me interrupt. I've never thought of love at first sight as love. Instead, I think love at first sight is about the face. As long as you're good-looking and stunning enough, you have the capital to make people fall in love with you at first sight, right? So, can I take it that you're attracted to my aunt's good looks, Uncle Tang, and then shamelessly flirt with her? Pudding analyzed calmly. Yes, you're right. You can put it that way, Tang Chuan admitted shamelessly. Then I'm sorry. You don't have a chance. My aunt has already been booked, Pudding said proudly. Booked? Who? Who in Sea City dares to steal someone from Mr. Tang? Are they tired of living? Tang Chuan was irritated. He hadn't liked someone at first sight for so many years. The little girl was already taken. He was very upset. It's good that you're confident. But do you think you can win against handsome Su? Pudding smiled evilly. Lord Su? Damn. No way. Tang Chuan was not willing to accept this cruel reality, so he cursed out loud. Pudding. Qi Ning didn't want Pudding to continue. After all, she and Su Yu hadn't even started dating yet. Was it really okay to spread rumors like this? Would Su Yu be disgusted? Auntie, don't be afraid. I did leave you with handsome Su from the beginning. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Lord Su agreed. Tang Chuan obviously didn't believe Pudding. Chapter 2039. Of course I'll agree. Pudding tried to beat around the bush. I don't believe you. Don't lie to me. Pudding, I'm telling you, lying kids get spanked. Tang Chuan and Su Yu were so close that there was no way he didn't know that Su Yu had a new girlfriend. Plus, Su Yu was deeply in love with Huo Min, so he didn't believe that Su Yu would fall in love with Qin Chu's little sister and have to call Huo Min sister-in-law. No matter how dumb he was, he should be able to understand something like this. Although this is just my personal opinion and they haven't met yet, I'll try my best to set them up. So, Uncle Tang, you don't have to get involved. Haha, go on with your girl. Then, Pudding grabbed Qi Ning's hand and walked out. Qi Ning felt very embarrassed and kept her head down. When she walked past Tang Chuan, she covered half of her face. Tang Chuan finally realized that the twins wanted to set Su Yu up with this girl. No wonder. It seemed like he had to go to Lord Su's house tonight and talk to Lord Su. At the same time, at Southside Recuperation Center, when Huo Min came out of the operating room, it was already 5 p.m. Sun Dahai's mother was seriously ill and had been in a small hospital for a long time, so the chances of surgery weren't high. Several neurosurgery department directors invited Huo Min to participate in the surgery. In the end, the surgery was a success. When Huo Min came out of the operating room, it was already 6 p.m. She was tired and hungry, but she was still very happy. It had been a long time since she felt like a workaholic. She even took the time to post a selfie on her WeChat with a white coat and black-rimmed glasses. She wrote, "Today was a busy day, and I'm thankful that I'm back in the past. Zhu Lingling, Dr. Hua, is mighty and domineering. Jiang Xiaowei, hug me to sleep, thank you. Jixin, sis, you're the most beautiful angel in white." Huo Min replied to Jixin, "White angel is a nurse. I'm a doctor, okay? And I Yang, sis, all the best. Take care of yourself." Su Yu just silently gave a thumbs up because he didn't know what to say. If he said too much, he was afraid that everyone would think too much. If she said too little, she was afraid that Huo Min would feel that she was alienating herself. So she just gave him a like. It had been a long time since he had seen Huo Min in a white lab coat. When Su Yu saw this photo, he actually felt excited. In his mind, he even recalled the first time he had met Huo Min. At that time, he was still the insufferably arrogant young master of the Su family, an arrogant and irritable patient. At that time, she was still a fledgling doctor. She was barbaric and domineering, making Su Yu suffer all day long. Now that so many things had happened, Huo Min still could not forget his original intention. Let go of everything and go back to being a doctor with a peace of mind. He had to admit that this woman was very open-minded. Qin Shu commented below, Dr. Hua, thank you for your hard work. I'll be at the door. You can come out when you're done. I'll take you to dinner. Wow, honey, you're here. I'll be right out. See you in a bit. The person above me is showing off their love again. It's so annoying. My stinky police officer is still working overtime. He won't even call me. Zhu Lingling was jealous. Huamin took off his lab coat and put on a wine-red cape and a white hat. He looked very cute. When she walked out, she immediately saw Qin Shu's Maybach parked in the most obvious spot. Mr. Qin, how long have you been here? Huamin knocked on the car window. Chapter 2040. I just got here. You didn't come back, so I called home to tell you that you didn't come back. I knew you were working overtime. Where are we going to eat? Huamin got into the passenger seat and asked excitedly, How about Alexeine's ramen? Qin Shu tilted his head and looked at her with a smile. That's awesome. Honey, I love you. Huamin happily kissed Qin Shu on the cheek. Qin Shu smiled. Love isn't something you say. You have to do it. He thought that after saying this, Huamin would cover her face and blush. To his surprise, Huamin generously retorted, Okay, let's have car sex, come on. Car sex. This time, it was Mr. Qin's turn to be speechless. What's wrong? Are you scared? Huamin asked. Scared? Why would I be? Madam, you must be joking. What I mean is, I didn't think that Madam would still be in the mood after working all day. If I knew we were going to have car sex, I would have driven an SUV. After all, this car is too small and can't stretch out. I can't unlock too many new positions. Unlock new positions? Okay, Mr. Qin, you win. Huamin wanted to be calm. She wanted to see who was more perverted than Mr. Qin, but she didn't need to. It was obvious that she wasn't good enough. He had been defeated so easily. Along the way, Huamin listened to the soft music and suddenly felt that life was so beautiful. Honey, are you tired today? Yeah, I did surgery on Sun Dehai's mother this afternoon. I really couldn't take it. I haven't held a scalpel in a while. How was it? Was the surgery successful? Not bad. As for the rest of the treatment, it depends on the patient's physical fitness and willpower. Awesome. I'll give you a thumbs up. Qin Shu really liked Huamin's attitude when she was working seriously. The two drove for about 20 minutes and arrived at the alley behind Second High. Many students were eating Alexeine's ramen at this time. It was just before the evening self-study session. Boss, 2 bowls of ramen. Qin Shu walked in and found a seat. The two of them sat facing each other and looked at the furnishings that had not changed over the years, as well as the bright second high school. Instantly, he felt as if he had transmigrated. Mr. Qin, Mrs. Qin, you're here. Where are the children? The owner was very familiar with their family. Huamin smiled. The kids aren't here. We haven't eaten yet after work, so we passed by. You are really lucky. These 2 children are very smart and sensible. The boss praised. Huamin smiled and said no more. Emo Shui came looking for me today. Qin Shu recalled what happened during the day and chatted with Huamin. Emo Shui, why is she looking for you? Huamin was stunned. He said it's a collaboration. She wants to work with you to deal with Hua Xiqian. Huamin immediately understood Emo Shui's intentions. Qin Shu nodded. This woman really changes her mind faster than flipping through a book. Ha! She used to say how much she loved him, but now that he's down, she wants to hit him when he's down. She has the Xiang family behind her, right? Why would she want to work with us? Isn't that unnecessary? Although the Xiang family is powerful, it's not enough to shake Hua Xiqian's foundation. She knows about the grudge between me and Hua Xiqian, so she wants to persuade me to work with her. It seems like this time, she wants to kill Hua Xiqian as well. Qin Shu analyzed. Huamin shook his head. That's not necessarily true. Emo Shui is very fickle. Maybe she and Hua Xiqian are just putting on a show. We shouldn't trust her. Even if she provides us with evidence, we don't know if it's true. Huamin hated Emo Shui, so he strongly doubted her character. Yeah, I refused. Even if she really wants to work with me, I won't agree. I don't need anyone's help. Plus, I don't think anyone can deal with Hua Xiqian other than me. Mr. Chin turned on his thunder remote again. Hey, honey, look who's there. Huamin suddenly saw a luxury car parked outside. Huamin was surprised to see the person who got out of the car. She patted Chin's shoe and pointed outside. Chapter 2041. Chin Shu looked in the direction that Huamin was pointing and saw a man and a woman getting out of a black Range Rover. The man was Wei Dong, whom Huamin hadn't seen in a long time. He was Chin Shu and Huamin's classmate. Huamin also knew the woman. She was a girl named Chi Hong from the class next door. She was the prettiest girl in the class next door back in the day. She was very pretty, and now she looked very fashionable and beautiful. She was wearing a white mink coat and had a great figure. Wei Dong hugged the woman's shoulder intimately. They got out of the car and walked towards Aixin's ramen. However, when Wei Dong saw Chin Shu and Huamin sitting inside, he was stunned. You guys are eating here too? Wei Dong was a little embarrassed. He didn't expect to see his classmates here, so he didn't know how to react. Yeah. Chin Shu didn't say anything, and Huamin nodded to avoid awkwardness. Oh, then you guys eat. I'll just walk around with my friend. Wei Dong was a little embarrassed as he turned around and left with the woman. The woman whispered, Who is he? Do you know him? Huamin, Chin Shu. You don't know him. Wei Dong lowered his voice. Chin Shu. Huamin, oh my God. When the woman heard that he was the most famous person in school, she immediately turned around to take a second look. Why are they together? Huamin felt that it was very strange. What's wrong? That's Chi Hong. I heard from Ling Ling that she's been married for a few years. She married into a county under our jurisdiction. I heard that the man's father is the county mayor, and his family is quite powerful. I didn't hear anything about divorce, so why is she together with Wei Dong? Huamin muttered to himself. Who said that you have to divorce to be together? Honey, you're still so innocent. I know little about Wei Dong. Something happened to his family a while ago, and he ran away for a while. Now that he's back in the game, someone must have helped him. Maybe it was Chi Hong who pulled the strings. Men and women don't always get together for love. Mian, you're always thinking too highly of things. But how can there be so many beautiful things in this world? Chin Shu's understanding of human nature, so he calmly analyzed the situation. Huamin suddenly understood. If that's the case, then it makes sense. There was a time when Wei Dong wanted to borrow money from me, but I didn't lend it to him. Later on, he hated me because of that, and now it's very awkward when we meet. That's the right thing to do. Wei Dong, it's better not to interact with him. I don't like how he conducts himself. Chin Shu's opinion of Wei Dong had always been bad. Previously, he pitted Huamin for a long time, and even threatened Huamin to get engaged to him with the money he used to pay for Jixin's surgery. When Chin Shu found out about it, he immediately stepped in and suppressed Wei Dong's thoughts. From then on, Wei Dong never dared to mention it again. It was just a small interlude, and Huamin and Chin Shu continued eating and chatting. Inside the Land Rover, the woman named Chi Hong deliberately teased. You mentioned Huamin, I remember now. Isn't she the cold goddess of your class? Didn't you chase after her with all your might? How come you didn't end up with her? Huamin is never sure of admirers. Ha ha, when will it ever be my turn? Wei Dong laughed. Oh, you're so jealous. Chi Hong pouted. Wei Dong immediately reached out and touched her chin. No one can compare to you. Baby, you're still the most beautiful. You know how to make me happy. On the other side, after Su Yu got off work, Tang Chuan hurriedly drove to his private mansion. Lord Su, come out, it's urgent. Tang Chuan was in a hurry. Su Yu had just taken off his jacket when he turned around. What? Chapter 2042. Lord Su, do you know Chin Shu's little sister? Tang Chuan couldn't wait to ask. Chin Shu's little sister? You mean Qin Ning? Su Yu looked at him in confusion. Oh, so that girl's name is Qin Ning. Tang Chuan smiled like a love-struck fool. It made Su Yu want to slap him. Why are you smiling like an idiot? How do you know Qin Ning? Su Yu took out 2 cans of Coke from the fridge. He handed one to Tang Chuan and opened the other for himself. Then he sat down on a sofa and picked up the remote control to play some soft music. Chin Chu has such a beautiful little sister. Why didn't you tell me earlier? You're such a bad buddy, aren't you? Tang Chuan complained. I didn't notice before. If it weren't for Pudding and Little Bean talking to me about their auntie, I really wouldn't have known. So you told him the truth. Don't you think Qi Ning is super beautiful? Her face, her body, and her proportions are. Tang Chuan became more and more excited as he spoke. When did you see her? Su Yu asked calmly when he saw the love-struck look on Tang Chuan's face. Today at the bowling alley, Pudding was bowling with her. Oh my God, I was shocked the moment I saw them. Did you know that? She's a pure European beauty. She's clean and beautiful with light makeup. Her body is perfect. She's got big boobs and a big butt. She must have felt good. Fine. Don't give me that useless crap. If you want to date her, you can't date her. Su Yu warned. What? You like her? Tang Chuan asked tentatively. Phew. What do you mean I like her? I don't even know her that well. I just don't think she's an outsider. She's Chin Chu's little sister and Pudding and Little Bean's auntie. It's not good for you to date her. Just tell me if you want to date her or not. Don't give me that useless crap. Tang Chuan took a big gulp of Coke and asked seriously. Are you kidding me? Why would I date her? Su Yu was confused. I heard from Pudding that she wants to set you up with her. Tang Chuan smirked. You believe a kid's words? Are you a fucking 3-year-old? Su Yu cursed at Tang Chuan. Haha. So young Master Su, are you saying you're not interested in Qi Ning anymore? It's not your cup of tea, is it? Tang Chuan's voice was tinged with excitement. Su Yu didn't even pay attention to Tang Chuan's mind. Young Master Su, can you be serious? It's related to my marriage. Tang Chuan was anxious when he saw Su Yu's nonchalant attitude. I'm serious. I'm not interested in her. She's really not my type, okay? How pretty she is has nothing to do with me, okay? Su Yu was annoyed by Tang Chuan. Great, then I'm going to start dating her. Tang Chuan showed a proud expression. Do whatever you want. If you can date her. Su Yu didn't think Qi Ning was that easy to date. He advised Tang Chuan not to be too perfect. Don't worry. Leave it to my dad. By the way, Lord Su, do you believe in love at first sight? Tang Chuan asked this question for the second time today. No, I don't. I believe in love over time, Su Yu answered honestly. You're right. Love over time. Tang Chuan nodded in agreement. Fuck, that's not what I meant. You're so fucking dirty. Su Yu thought he was very innocent and his topic was beautiful. However, in the mouth of the king of filth, Tang Chuan, everything beautiful instantly changed. Haha, I'm just teasing you. I just wanted to tell you that I like Qi Ning. I fell in love with her at first sight. Then it's no use telling me. You should tell Qi Ning. Su Yu wasn't surprised. Tang Chuan could change more than 10 women in a month. So Su Yu didn't want to say too much to a playboy like him. Lord Su, give me Qi Ning's WeChat. I'll add her. Tang Chuan took out his phone, full of anticipation. Chapter 2043. Qi Ning's WeChat. I really don't have it. Su Yu really didn't have Qi Ning's WeChat. They really didn't know each other well. Why did it seem like the whole world knew what he and Qi Ning were talking about? In fact, there really wasn't anything between them. If you don't believe me, give it to me. Bro, right? Tang Chuan was really anxious. So he took out his phone, unlocked it, and threw it over. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Tang Chuan picked up Su Yu's phone and immediately opened his WeChat contact list. Sure enough, Qi Ning's profile picture wasn't on it. Most importantly, Su Yu only had 3 women on his WeChat. They were Huamin, Pudding, and Little Bean. He didn't even add Jian Tong and the other female artists on WeChat. It was obvious that Su Yu's temper was really, fuck, you really don't have it. Do you believe me now? Su Yu reached out to take back his phone. However, Tang Chuan dodged it. Give me your phone. No rush. Wait, I'll use it. Then, Tang Chuan picked up his phone and sent a WeChat message to Little Bean. He wrote, send me Qi Ning's WeChat. I'll add her. He was supposed to send it to Pudding, but Tang Chuan thought that Pudding was too smart. If he exposed himself, it would be over. In the end, he realized that he had underestimated Little Bean. Little Bean didn't completely believe him either. Instead, she sent a voice message saying, "Are you handsome, Sue?" Tang Chuan immediately replied, "Of course." "Then say something for me," Little Bean ordered. Tang Chuan was speechless. He picked up his phone and showed it to Suyu. "Look, these two are so smart. I purposely chose Little Bean, who is not very smart. I didn't expect it to work. Quick, help me send a voice message." Suyu rolled his eyes at Tang Chuan and said, "Who said Little Bean isn't smart? She may look dumb and cute, but she's just as smart as pudding. You're really giving me trouble." Although Suyu didn't say anything, he still replied to Little Bean with a voice message. "Little Bean, it's me. Handsome Sue, why do you suddenly want my Annie's WeChat? Are you in love with her?" No, I just thought that since we're friends, we should add each other," Suyu said perfunctorily. "Oh, I see. I thought it was Uncle Tang who was threatening you," Little Bean mumbled to herself. Not only Suyu, but Tang Chuan was also shocked. Did this little girl have some kind of supernatural ability? How did she know? Why do you say that?" Suyu still replied with a voice message. "Because my sister said that when she went bowling with my Annie today, she bumped into Uncle Tang. When he saw my Annie, he looked at her like a fly staring at a rotten egg." "Oh no, that's not the right analogy. It was like a dung beetle looking at a dung ball." "I suspect that he wants to hit on my Annie, so I'm wondering if he used your phone to trick me." After hearing Little Bean's words, Tang Chuan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He thought to himself, a dung beetle looking at a dung ball is worse than a fly staring at a rotten egg. What kind of words was this kid using? It was driving him crazy. So you tried hard not to laugh and asked in all seriousness, "If Uncle Tang saw your auntie, would you guys agree?" "Of course not. Handsome Sue, do you even need to ask?" Little Bean answered without hesitation. "Why not? Your Uncle Tang is handsome, rich, and considerate. He's much more understanding than I am," Suyu teased Little Bean. Chapter 2044. While Suyu was praising Tang Chuan was counting his ears as he listened to Suyu. From time to time, he would play along and stroke his hair. However, when he heard Little Bean's funny reply, he couldn't stay calm anymore. Little Bean said, "Handsome Sue, you don't have to explain for Uncle Tang. After knowing him for so long, my sister and I have always thought that he's just a handsome, rich, and stud horse." "Stud horse?" "Okay, Little Bean, don't say that again. You're not a kid. Your mommy will go crazy if she finds out." Suyu almost peed his pants from laughing. "What does that have to do with my mommy? Don't change the topic. We're talking about Uncle Tang. Could it be that I'm wrong? Look at him, he's so young, but he looks like he has weak kidneys. It's all because he's been flirting with too many girls. How can our auntie, a pure and innocent girl, be with someone like him? It'll ruin her life," Little Bean said reasonably. Suyu laughed so hard that tears almost came out his eyes. He lay on the sofa and laughed hysterically. "What are you laughing at? Look at this little bastard. He's going to pay with his life for insulting me." This was the first time Tang Chuan heard the twins talk about him like that. He felt like he had nothing left to live for. "Then why should I give it to you?" "It's because you're too ridiculous," Suyu said with a smile. "You've known me for so many years, don't you know me? I'm known as a playboy, but most of the time, I'm just putting on show. I haven't really slept with anyone. I'm not a stud horse, and my kidneys aren't that good. Otherwise, I would have been impotent a long time ago." Tang Chuan felt like he had been wronged. The twins had a bad impression of him, which led to his impotence. Now, he had no hope of falling in love with their auntie. "Cut the crap. Give me Qi Ning's WeChat," Tang Chuan urged Suyu. "Are you serious? If you want to flirt with girls, then forget it. Qi Ning's identity is really unsuitable. Plus, you might not be able to handle it." Suyu felt that if Tang Chuan wanted to play, he shouldn't look for Qi Ning. If Wami knew that he was flirting with his sister-in-law, wouldn't he scold him to death? "I'm not joking. I'm not just playing around. Okay?" Tang Chuan repeated. Suyu had no choice but to ask shamelessly, "Little Bean, can you send me a WeChat message now?" "Sure, wait a moment." Then, Little Bean took out her phone and looked mysteriously at Qi Ning, who had just come out of the shower. Auntie, handsome Sue asked for your WeChat ID. Should I give it to him? Did Sue ask for my WeChat? Chi Ning felt a little embarrassed. Uh-huh. Little Bean smirked. I'll give it to him then. Chi Ning didn't know if it was because the twins had talked too much about Suyu, but she subtly changed her mind. Or maybe it was because Chin Chu said yesterday that they weren't suitable for each other that made her rebellious. Anyway, she was actually looking forward to it. Would there be a different story between her and Suyu? After Chi Ning nodded, Little Bean immediately sent Chi Ning's WeChat ID to Suyu's phone. Suyu glanced at it and symbolically added it. Then, he immediately forwarded the card to Tang Chuan. Okay, I sent it to you. Haha. Thank you, Lord Su. Thank you. Then, Tang Chuan immediately picked up his phone, put on his jacket, and left. Fuck, you're leaving after using me? Suyu watched as Tang Chuan walked out. What else can I do? Should I stay the night with you? Lord Su. Tang Chuan smirked. Chapter 2045. Go away, don't disgust me. I'm going to bed. I'm too tired. So you didn't want to argue with him. He picked up a pillow and lay down on the sofa, watching TV. After leaving Suyu's mansion, Tang Chuan drove back to his house and turned on his phone eagerly. Sure enough, Chi Ning accepted his friend request. Chi Ning was confused. Little Bean said that Suyu wanted to add her, but now there were two more people who wanted to add her. Because Suyu's profile picture wasn't his, she wasn't sure which one was. She added both of them. After adding them, she checked her WeChat moments and saw that one was Suyu and the other was the guy she saw at the bowling alley today. Hi, Chi Ning, I'm Tang Chuan. Tang Chuan took the initiative to talk to her. Chi Ning, hi. Tang Chuan, what are you doing? Have you eaten? Chi Ning, I have. Tang Chuan, okay, I want to treat you to something good. This isn't your first time in Sea City, right? Chi Ning, no. Tang Chuan, you've been living in the States all this time. Chi Ning, yes. No matter what Tang Chuan asked, Chi Ning would answer obediently. However, she didn't say much, which made her seem distant. Tang Chuan didn't think this tactic worked, so he immediately asked, ever since Huamin gave birth to the twins, Suyu and I have been very close to them. We're really close to them. Oh, really? I've always heard them mention Suyu's name, Chi Ning recalled. Is it because I'm more handsome than Lord Su? That's why they get shy when they mention me. Tang Chuan said narcissistically. Chi Ning, how? Did you get my WeChat? Chi Ning didn't forget to ask. Oh, that Lord Su gave it to me. Tang Chuan lied without blushing. So you gave it to you? Chi Ning was a little disappointed. She thought that Suyu was interested in her. Now, it seemed that he was trying to give her WeChat to this man named Tang Chuan. For a moment, Chi Ning's heart sank. She looked at Suyu's WeChat profile picture and sent him a WeChat message. You and Little Bean asked for my WeChat number because you wanted to give it to that person. Suyu was watching TV when he received a WeChat message. He looked down and saw that it was from Chi Ning. He was quite surprised. He's the one who kept bothering me and asking for your number. Oh, Chi Ning saw that Suyu had acquiesced and suddenly didn't know what to say. Are you busy? Chi Ning asked after a while. Watching TV, Suyu replied. Oh, take a look then. The more they talked about this topic, the more awkward it would be. So, Chi Ning decided to stop talking to Suyu. She was no longer interested in answering Tang Chuan's passionate questions. I'm a little tired. I'm going to bed now. Her polite and courteous words made Tang Chuan give up on the idea of continuing the conversation. Chi Ning dried her hair in the bathroom and came downstairs in a bathrobe. The whole family was downstairs, either watching TV or playing with their phones. Auntie, are you in a bad mood? Pudding looked up at Chi Ning. Of course not. I'm in a good mood. I feel like you have something on your mind. Pudding felt that Chi Ning's mood was a little different from usual. You, little girl, you're too sensitive. I'm fine. Chi Ning went downstairs and touched Pudding's face. Pudding leaned over mysteriously. Annie, did you talk to Handsome Sue on WeChat? Oh, we talked for a bit. Chi Ning told the truth. How was it? How was it? Were there any sparks? Pudding continued to gossip. No sparks, but I was a little angry. Qi Ning smiled. Angry? Did you fight with handsome Sue? Pudding was surprised. Chapter 2046. No, I don't even know him that well. Why will we fight? Qi Ning chuckled. At this moment, Pudding heard them and said loudly, Auntie, you and handsome Sue added each other on WeChat. Congratulations. Her voice was loud, so both Qin Shu and Huamin heard her. Ning and Su Yu added each other on WeChat? Huamin was surprised. She didn't know that the twins wanted to set Qin Ning and Su Yu up. She just thought it was too sudden. Qin Shu glanced at Pudding. Pudding, your auntie is an adult. She can handle her own personal matters. You and your sister shouldn't get involved. Daddy, we didn't. We respect auntie's wishes. Pudding argued. Ning, are you interested in Su Yu? Huamin asked. Qi Ning's face turned red in front of so many people. Mommy, aren't you being too direct? Pudding complained. Huamin smiled. We're all family. There's nothing to hide. Su Yu is a good guy. But are you sure he's your type? Huamin knew Su Yu too well. So, like Qin Shu, she didn't think they would be a good match. Although both of them were excellent, if they ended up together, it would be hard to tell what would happen. Plus, Su Yu is rumored to have a girlfriend, Jian Tong. So, Huamin didn't want Qin Ning to get involved. He was afraid that Jian Tong would set her eyes on him and cause some trouble. Sis-in-law, I'm not really interested. I'm not that close with Su Yu. I've only met him a few times, and I think he's a good guy. We're just friends. Don't think too much, really. Qi Ning explained awkwardly. It's okay. We understand. It's good for young people to make more friends. If you're interested, you can take the initiative. As long as the other person is a good person, your brother and I will support you. But Su Yu, forget it. You two can meet as friends first. You'll slowly understand what kind of person he is. I won't say much. Huamin didn't want to interfere with Qi Ning's logic. I'll say it again. Pudding and Little Bean, don't mess with your auntie. Qin Shu realized that his daughter's trying to set Pudding and Su Yu first. To be honest, he didn't agree to it. Qin Shu knew how deep Su Yu's feelings for Huamin were. He didn't think that Su Yu would easily accept Qi Ning and face Huamin in the future. He was also afraid that Qi Ning would be hurt if she didn't get a response from Su Yu. After all, she had no experience in love. Daddy, we didn't. Also, you seem to have a problem with handsome Sue. Is it because you two used to be rivals in love? Little Bean said without thinking. Qi Ning finally understood the key point. She looked at Qin Shu and then at Huamin in surprise. She suddenly remembered that Su Yu had liked her sister-in-law for many years. He was the man who would replace her brother if he didn't come. She actually forgot about such an important thing. All she thought about was how outstanding Su Yu was. She didn't realize that the person he loved was her sister-in-law, Huamin. You two don't talk nonsense. Huamin was a little angry. Although Qin Shu didn't care about Su Yu's feelings for her, it was still very unpleasant for the child to suddenly say something like that. Pudding, Little Bean, this has nothing to do with whether Daddy is biased against Su Yu or not. Daddy is looking at the pros and cons from your auntie's perspective. After all, you two are still children. A lot of things aren't that simple. Qin Shu explained patiently so that his daughter wouldn't misunderstand. Huamin was just about to scold his daughter when his phone rang. Mian, I have something to tell you. Are you free to talk now? Jiang Xiaowei asked mysteriously when Huamin picked up the phone. Chapter 2047. Okay, go ahead. Slightly. Huamin could sense the caution in Jiang Xiaowei's voice. Then, he picked up his cell phone and walked upstairs, avoiding his family downstairs. Mian, are you and Huiyin close? Jiang Xiaowei asked. Huiyin and I have never been close. You know, I helped her twice when she was bullied. Then, when my daughter was kidnapped, it was thanks to Huiyin that Pudding was able to escape and inform my husband. She's still recovering from her injuries, and our daughter is still at home. To be honest, I'm very grateful to her, Huamin said honestly. Oh, I see. Jiang Xiaowei looked thoughtful. What's wrong? Slightly. Huamin asked. You know my sister-in-law, right? Weighing. Humin raised an eyebrow. Yeah, she's probably going to get a divorce soon. Our family is in chaos. My husband has been coming back to the Wei family's mansion for meetings every day, and he's been telling me this and that. It's giving me a headache. Wei Ying is getting a divorce? Are you serious? She just got married not long ago, and she doesn't have kids. In Huamin's memory, the marriage alliance between the Wei family and the Shun family had caused a sensation in the city and attracted attention from all walks of life. Wei Ying and Shun Mingxi were called the golden couple of high society. One was so handsome that even gods would envy, and the other was so beautiful that she could topple a city. She had thought that this was a marriage that couldn't be more stable, but she didn't expect that in less than 3 years, it would change beyond recognition. It's because they don't have kids that they want a divorce. If they had a baby, they wouldn't have. Jiang Xiaowei sighed. Then who's infertile? That's why. Humin's thought process was simpler. No, both of them have been checked. There's no problem. It's just that. Jiang Xiaowei stuttered. Big sister, don't tell me. I'm dying of anxiety. If you have something to say it quickly. I heard that the Shun family's boy doesn't really touch my sister-in-law. They rarely sleep on the same bed. My sister-in-law is very angry from staying in an empty room. That's why this incident blew up. They quarreled, and in the end, they asked for a divorce. I don't think so. Wei Ying was unruly, but didn't she say she loved young Master Shin? How did it end up like this? Huamin felt a little regretful. I heard from my husband that this incident seems to be related to Hua Yinyan. It has something to do with Hua Yinyan. Are you serious? Huamin was a little scared. Yeah, Wei Ying cried her eyes out at home. She kept saying that she wouldn't let that vixen Hua Yinyan off the hook. My husband came back and told me about the situation. I think you might know something. Do you think Hua Yinyan and young Master Shin really have something going on? Really? In terms of looks and wealth, I don't think even Hua Yinyan can compare to Ying. Plus, Hua Yinyan is a down-and-out young woman with a child. Young Master Shin wouldn't do something like that, right? Jiang Xiaowei found it unbelievable. Speaking of which, I remember something, Huamin said calmly. What is it? That day, when I went to the hospital to visit Hua Yinyan, I saw young Master Shin coming to visit her with flowers in his hand. I don't know if there's anything going on between them, but I'm sure they do. Otherwise, with young Master Shin's personality, he wouldn't have taken the initiative to visit a woman. Another time, a long time ago, I ran into some of your sister-in-law's best friends in a shopping mall. They pulled Hua Yinyan's hair and hit her. I think they found some clues, but I don't think it's true. Maybe young Master Shin took pity on Hua Yinyan. After all, she went from being a rich young lady to a down-and-out young woman. It's quite sad. So, if you ask me, I can't say. After all, I didn't see what happened between them with my own eyes. Huamin didn't hide anything from Jiang Xiaowei. He took the initiative to tell Jiang Xiaowei everything he saw and heard. Chapter 2048. You have a point. Anyways, they're definitely going to divorce. The Wei family is in chaos right now. You know, once the marriage is dissolved, the cooperation between the two families will be dissolved as well. Yeah, it's a big loss. Do you know who proposed a divorce? Huamin was curious. He had only met Shin Mingxi a few times, but he had heard about him a lot. He was friends with Su Yu and had helped Huamin raise money, so they knew each other. Huamin didn't know what the quiet man was thinking. But if the two of them divorced, the Wei family's business would be affected. Xiao Wei was the daughter-in-law of the Wei family, so it was normal for her to be worried. Of course, it was Shan Mingxi who proposed it. Ying would never divorce him. She loves him so much and has had a crush on him for so many years. Okay, that's a tragedy. And Misham, that kid has made up his mind. He gave Ying quite a bit of alimony and demanded a lot of compensation from the Wei family. Even though the Shun family didn't agree, they can't control their son right now. That kid is in charge of the Shun family, so the elders in the Shun family can't do anything about it. However, my sister-in-law has been causing trouble at home for a few days now. I think she might go and cause trouble for Hua Yinyan. If you have the chance to see Hua Yinyan, You should tell her to be careful. After all, it's too easy for my aunt to deal with her now. I know Hui Yin helped you this time, so I want to remind her out of kindness. Jiang Xiaowei knew Wei Ying and knew she wouldn't give up so easily. Yeah, I'll talk to Hui Yin about it. Thank you, Wei Wei. Hey, you don't have to be so courteous with me. When are you off these few days? Let's get together and ask Lingling and her son out. We can go to the hot springs together and play with the children. Yinshu hasn't seen the twins in a long time and misses them too. Haha, aren't you afraid that my two she-devils will bully him? Huamin laughed. Love and hate. Jiang Xiaowei joked. Huamin chuckled. After hanging up the phone with Jiang Xiaowei, Huamin returned to his room. Qin Shu also went upstairs to rest. The couple lay down and chatted about their daily life. They talked about the content of Jiang Xiaowei's call. In the other room, Qi Ning wasn't in a good mood the whole night until it was time to sleep. Pudding took the opportunity to sneak into Qi Ning's room. Auntie, is she asleep? Not yet, Qi Ning said listlessly. Is there something on your mind? No. Liar, there is. It's because of Handsome Sue, right? Pudding could guess what her auntie was thinking. Pudding, please. Don't talk about him all the time. I'm so annoyed. Qi Ning had never been in a relationship before and didn't know what it felt like to like someone. She was just a little annoyed by the subtle changes in her relationship with Suyu. Auntie, tell me, are you even a little bit interested in Handsome Sue? Pudding gossiped. It doesn't matter even if I am. Suyu only loves my sister-in-law. I know that. When she thought about how Suyu loved Huamin for years, Qi Ning felt listless. She didn't have the confidence to make a man who loved another woman for years fall in love with her. Handsome Sue liked my mommy a lot, but that was before. Ever since Daddy came back, he's retired. He won't have any fantasies about my mommy. Handsome Sue is as good as Daddy, and I don't want him to be single at this age. That scheming bitch Jin Tong isn't good enough for him, so I've been thinking about finding him a great girlfriend. Auntie, you're that great girl. You guys are a perfect match, Pudding said excitedly. However, at this moment, Qi Ning was no longer in the mood. Chapter 2049. Pudding, I know you're doing this for Auntie's sake. You approve of Auntie's character, but relationships aren't that simple. Just because you think they're compatible doesn't mean they'll be happy together. It's like buying shoes. Only the foot knows if they're compatible or not. So you might be really good, but I think forget it. I'm talking nonsense to a kid like you. Go to sleep. Auntie is going to sleep too. Qi Ning felt like the more she tried to explain, the more confused she became. She didn't think she could out-talk this two-faced Miss Pudding. Therefore, she hurriedly pushed Pudding out of the room. Then, she let out a long sigh. She lay on the big bed and was about to turn over to sleep when her phone rang. She opened it and saw that it was a WeChat transfer from Tang Chuan. The amount was 9,999 yuan. Qi Ning immediately rejected it and ignored Tang Chuan. Tang Chuan wanted to get closer to Qi Ning at home, so he used his trump card to pick up girls. When he didn't know what to say, he would send her a red packet or transfer her money directly. This trick worked every time. Even if she was a rich girl, she would still be happy to see him transfer money. After all, no one hated money, right? However, Qi Ning rejected it within a second, which made him feel a strong sense of defeat. The next morning, before Huamin went to work, he drove to the first hospital. In the ward, Yin Yin was able to move around and take care of herself. He talked to Hui Yin Yin's doctor and estimated that she could be discharged in 3 days. Yin Yin, Huamin walked over with his bag. Hey, Mian, you're here. Seeing Huamin, Hui Yin Yin was very happy. How are you today? Does it still hurt? Huamin glanced at her ribs. It doesn't hurt anymore. I could do everything myself. I think I can be discharged today. Yin Yin was in good spirits. I can't do it today. I've talked to your doctor. The fastest I can do is in 3 days. Mian, how's Tian Tian at your house? Was she naughty? Did you bully them? Hui Yin Yin asked worriedly. No, Tian Tian is very obedient. She plays very well with my two. Don't worry. That's good. All right, Mian, I know you have a lot of connections. You're good friends with Chief Gao, of the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Can you help me? After I get discharged, I want to see C. Hearing Hui Yinyan's words, Huomin's expression changed slightly. Is it difficult for you? I know. C is at fault and he deserves it, but I still want to see him. You know, he and my mom are my last family in the world. I can't contact my mom in Vietnam, but C is in there. If he needs anything, I want to send him clothes. After all, I'm still his sister. Hui Yinyan lowered her head in shame. Huomin took a deep breath and said slowly, Yinyan, it's not that I don't want you to see him, but Huomin paused. He didn't have the heart to continue. What happened to C? Hui Yinyan felt that something was wrong. She looked up at Huomin uneasily. Because you were recovering, I didn't dare to tell you. The truth is, Hui is already dead. Huomin said word by word. When Hui Yinyan heard this, her entire body froze and her mind went blank. Impossible. I don't believe it. It can't be. Hui Yinyan muttered to herself in a daze. Chapter 2050. Yinyan, I'm not lying to you. It's true. After all, no one would dare to lie about something like this. Huomin reached out his hand to comfort Hui Yinyan. But how did he die? Wasn't he arrested by the police? He committed suicide in prison. When he was eating, he used a pair of chopsticks and pierced his own throat. I think he probably felt that there was no hope left for him and didn't want to spend the rest of his life in prison. You know, Hui's crime this time was very serious. If he was sentenced, he would be in prison for at least 20 years. He's almost 30 years old now and will be in his 50s in 20 years. By then, he would have no hope left, but he shouldn't have died so suddenly. Hui Yinyan squatted on the floor, covered her face, and started crying. Also, after he found out that Ruan Qingqing was dead, he felt even more hopeless. Hui seemed to love that woman a lot. Huomin analyzed. That woman is a bad person. She was the one who instigated C to do all these bad things. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it. Although he had a bad temper since he was young, he wasn't completely heartless. I hate that woman to death. But why did C have to be so stupid? He's not young. He's not even married. He doesn't even have children of his own. If my mom found out, she wouldn't be able to take it, right? Ho ho ho. Hui Yinyan cried sadly. Just then, footsteps came from the door. Huomin looked up and saw Shen Mingxi walking in with a box of food in his hand. It seemed like he was here to deliver food to Hui Yinyan. Behind him was a male assistant from the Shun Corporation. What's wrong? What happened? When Shen Mingxi walked in, he saw Hui Yinyan squatting on the floor and crying. He panicked a little and immediately placed the box of food on the table. Then, he quickly walked over to comfort her. He reached out his hand and helped Hui Yinyan up. Hui Yinyan threw herself into Shun Mingxi's arms. C is dead. I don't have a brother anymore. Hui Yinyan broke down in tears. Shun Mingxi comforted her gently, which was rare for him. Don't cry. Death might be a good thing for him. Maybe he'd rather die than go to jail for so long. You're still very weak. You have to be strong. Shun Mingxi comforted her for a while until the nurse came over and gave her a sedative. Only then did Hui Yinyan fall asleep. Shen Mingxi glanced at Huomin and asked, "Can we talk outside?" "Okay." Huomin nodded. Then, she followed Shen Mingxi to the corridor outside the ward. "When can she be discharged?" "I've asked her doctor. The earliest is 3 days. Is her daughter at your house?" Shen Mingxi asked. "Yes. When she's discharged from the hospital, I'll send someone to pick up the child. Then I'll settle the mother and daughter down, so you don't have to worry about anything in the future." "Young Master Shun, if you don't mind me asking, what's your relationship with Yinyan?" If Jiang Shaowei hadn't mentioned this yesterday, Huomin wouldn't have thought too much about it and wouldn't have asked so directly. But now, Shen Mingxi was saying that he wanted to take over Hui Yinyan and take care of her in the future. Wasn't this a bit inappropriate? We're friends. But young Master Shun, you have a family now. If you treat Yinyan like this, it'll cause misunderstandings. Your wife, Wei Ying, already gave her a hard time. It's not easy for a woman to raise a child alone. I don't want her to be misunderstood because of you and be called a mistress. If you really want her best, you should consider her situation. Don't you think so? Huamin didn't care too much and questioned Shen Mingxi sharply. Wei Ying and I are in the process of getting a divorce. I'll cut ties with her as soon as possible, Shen Mingxi said coldly. Chapter 2051. So, do you want the whole world to know that you divorced Wei Ying because of Hui Yinyan? The Wei family isn't happy about it to begin with. By doing this, you're not protecting her, you're putting her in danger. Huamin analyzed. Shen Mingxi fell silent once again. Perhaps he really did like to do things his own way and didn't care about what others thought. He also neglected how much this matter hurt Hui Yinyan. After being reminded by Huamin, he didn't know what to say. I understand that you want to take care of Yin Yin and her daughter, but I don't want them to be hurt by public opinion or actions. The Wei family has always been aggressive, so you should know what to do. This is good for everyone. Yin Yin saved my daughter this time, and I'm very grateful to her. If you don't care, I won't ignore it either. I've already arranged a way out for her. Also, Yin Yin is very innocent right now. If you really only treat her as a friend, you should make things clear to her. Don't give her too much hope. Otherwise, if she falls for you like she did before, you'll really be in pain together. Huamin's words made Shen Mingxi feel ashamed. He finally understood why Su Yu loved this woman so much. She was too smart and calm. He was able to see everything too clearly, too thoroughly. I understand. I'll think about what you said. Thank you. Shen Mingxi thanked Huamin. No need to thank me. I'm just stating the facts. I'm not targeting anyone. Then, Huamin turned around and left the hospital. Time passed day by day. In the blink of an eye, a week had passed. Hui Yinyan was completely discharged from the hospital. That day, Shen Mingxi sent someone to pick up Hui Yinyan's daughter, Tian Tian. Huamin prepared a 2-bedroom apartment for the mother and daughter, but Hui Yinyan didn't move in. She knew that Shen Mingxi had better arrangements. Hui Yinyan, on the other hand, was still immersed in the news of Hui Si's death. Therefore, Huamin didn't continue to disturb her and wanted to give her some time to calm down. Then, the annual Mian Foundation charity night arrived. This was a charity gene that Qin Chu named after Huamin. In the past few years, it had helped many people in need. Children from the mountains, lonely old people, and children with congenital heart disease. All in all, Huamian had been doing this for more than 4 years, and the Mian Foundation had become a famous charity organization in China. That day, the GK Corporation sent out invitations to host a large-scale charity banquet at the Gala Hotel. Of course, the means. Huamian was wearing a simple white evening gown. She held on to Qin Chu's arm and walked into the ballroom amidst the warm applause. They immediately attracted everyone's attention. Wow, President Qin is so handsome in person. Dr. Hua is so elegant too. I can't believe they're so in love with each other. I'm so jealous. Yang Meiyurong held the twins' hands and also came to the banquet. Jixin was busy helping out. The twins were dressed in black and white today. Pudding was dressed like a boy, wearing a black suit and a black top hat. Little Bean was dressed like her mother, wearing a white princess gown and a garland of flowers. They were so beautiful that many reporters took pictures of them. Qin was also dressed in a handsome suit and leather boots. She was very unique, but not flashy. Compared to the other women in evening gowns, she had a neutral beauty. Tang Chuan, Su Yu, and Wei Liao came together. As soon as they walked in, they saw Qin Ning with a glass of champagne in her hand. Their eyes lit up. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.